What's up, you guys? I hope y'all doing well today. Y'all, as y'all can see by the title of this video, we're going to be discussing today how God is a narcissist. And I know, this might get a bunch of different reactions and, a bunch of different feelings, but, it's cool. You can feel however you want to feel, but this is the reality of it. So I really want to just give y'all some insight on this and understand that we are talking about God, the Father, the Creator, the Most High, Jehovah, I am that I am, the God in the Old Testament who was doing all the speaking, all the rebuking, the God who has cursed the Black community. Yes, that God right there. And on my journey, God has raised me up. Like, I'm really his daughter. When I tell you I'm really his daughter, like really his daughter, he has raised me up. He is everything I talk about, everything I know is because God is raising me up. God alone is doing everything that he's doing for me and through me. I've been telling y'all my testimony. If y'all been following, y'all see that I grew up. I've been telling y'all about my narcissistic family, scapegoat, whatever. And I've been actually doing videos about that, telling you guys why you're scapegoated, why you don't fit in. It's all according to God's plan, why he isolates you. So because I have been raised by narcissists, surrounded by narcissists, like that's why I was narcissist bait, which made me perfect bait to be baited in for God too, to be sucked into his kingdom, to, be saved and become of the kingdom of heaven for real, to get out of the world. It was always a reason why you're set apart. And we want to do that in a different video. And I kind of talked about it in that other video about being yourself, being an authentic self, so that you gravitate to the people that are meant for you. So in this video, y'all, I want to read something that it's on Reddit, and it's people basically in their feelings about God. And I used to get mad when I see people talk like this about God and be mad and say that they don't believe in God. It used to offend me because I'm like, dang, how can y'all feel like this about God? As much as he's doing for me and has done for me, it's like, how can you feel like this? It's like, how can you feel like this about him? I understand people's perspective, and it's because they don't understand God's sovereignty. They don't understand that he is ruler. They don't understand that he's the beginning, the end, the first, and the last. They don't understand that humans are to please him, not for him to please them. We don't understand that God is not a genie. We don't understand that God too has feelings. We don't understand that God too is a jealous God. We don't understand the complex he has. We don't understand him. So I want us to, in this video, I'm going to read this. And then, I don't know if I'm read this first, but we're going to read this little thing I found here on how people feel like the Christian God is a narcissist. And y'all know I don't like the word Christian because I'm not a Christian. I don't like what a lot of Christians stand for. It's not to, if any of y'all are Christian, of course, watching this, I know a lot of people are, is not to rain on your parade, but from my observation, I'm a very observant person, very analytical. I do a lot of just observing. And as I have discussed in some of my the Black community videos about us being, God's chosen people, and in the book of Malachi video, the Bible study that we did, in all my Bible study videos, I kind of talk about, who we are, and, I explain about who God is a little bit, because through my experience, and I'm locked in with him. Like, that's my BFF. I'm really plugged in with the plug. Like, I don't, I'm locked in with the plug. I don't go through middlemen. I'm through the plug for real. Like, so because of that, I'm explaining to you guys, I explained to you guys a bit about, his traits and his behaviors and why he do the things he do, why he has cursed our community, and why is life so hard for our community, and all of that. It's all according to God's will. It's all according to, because he has the power, and when he chooses you, he expects you to obey him. There's certain rules and regulations that you must follow as a chosen people. as a chosen people, you must do certain things differently than other people have, even when you feel like it's not fair, even when you feel like, why me? Even when you feel like you shouldn't be taking these losses, even when you feel these ways, you still have to obey him, because disobedience is sin. Disobedience is sin. And the reason we must follow him is because he is the creator of humans. He created humans. And out of the humans, he chose a group of people that is specifically his. He isolated us out of all the nations. This is once again why I know that Black people are the chosen people, God's chosen people, because the narcissistic traits, this is why we're going to break it down about what narcissism is. Because if you understand how everybody, because narcissist is a big thing that they talk about right now. Like, it's a big thing. Everybody talks about narcissists. Everybody calls everybody a narcissist. And the reason why narcissism is running rampant is because everybody thinks they're God. Everybody is seeking power and control. Everybody is seeking that, when ultimately the only person who has true power is God. But you got the enemy, which once was his BFS, once was the seraphim that was supposed to serve him, protect him, and give him all the glory. You got tired of giving him all the glory. And I can really break this down in so many ways. And, just roll with me through this video, because it's just rolling. But that's why people identify narcissism with, demonic entities and whatnot, with Satan. And that too is because Satan is the counterfeit. So he wants to imitate everything that is of God. And then he wants to switch up some things and make his own way, because he wants his own power. He wanted that power and the influence that God has. If you think about it, like, if you have been around narcissists, with many of you guys have, and you see they want, we're gonna read about it. But if you understand, you see sometimes people will want your spot. They like the likeness that you have, the influence that you have, the love that you get from other people, the way you're different, the way you're set apart, the way you do your own thing. They don't like that. They don't like that. They don't like that you don't conform to the norms. And this right there is why I say I don't like Christianity. I don't like religion at all. I'm not a part of no religion. I'm a child of God, period. Flat out, the creator. That's it. That's how, the Most High. I'm a child of God. I'm not putting myself into none of these boxes and categories, because each of these groups have their own agendas. Yes, they're going to give you some meat, but they're not going to give you everything. And as I'm sitting here dissecting, I read from both Bibles all the time, and to see how much they switch stuff up, like, it just baffles me. And that, once again, is transgression of the priest. Once again, in the Black videos that I be doing, I told y'all about why the churches are getting condemned, because they have purposely led people astray. They have purposely taught false teachings, false doctrines. They have purposely did everything other than what God called Levites to do. People that may not even be Levites are the ones that are in these pastoral positions when they shouldn't be. As it's just craziness. It's just a lot. It's very overwhelming for me, the amount of information that God pours onto me. But this is reason why I say I don't like that, and people just want to fit in somewhere. And that's why I'm always feel like a black sheep, because I never fit in. I've never fit in. I've always been different. I've been different in my family. I've been different in my friend groups. I've been different even now in this space I'm in now. I don't fit in with Christianity. I don't fit in with the spiritual community, because I normally say that I'm a spiritual. But when I got into a spiritual group, I'm like, I don't like that they completely want to debunk this. You can't debunk the word of God. You can't cancel this out. And if many people really read this and read Old Testament, and that's why I say I don't like Christianity, because how on earth do you think that you have the power to do away with God's word when Old Testament is majority of this book? How do you think you have who told them that they had the power to debunk everything that came before the book of Matthew? And even in this, what I was just reading in John, like, we're going to talk about that in another video. Because I don't want to get too off track, bruh. But this stuff be irritating me, because it's like, How dare you? That's how you know when you're the enemy. You're the counterfeit, and you want to take over the throne so bad. You want to have that ranking so bad that you think that you can do away with God, with universal law, the Creator's law. His laws never change. The Sabbath is still the Sabbath, which is still Saturday. The laws never change. Who told these people that they can change the law? Who told people that they can have people thinking that Sunday is the seventh day? Who told them that they can switch that up like that? Who told them that they can do that? You know? But the thing is, God will allow things because he knows how he's going to turn it around. Like, he declares a word, and he does. We're gonna talk about it as we get into it. But how on earth, this is Old Testament, baby. This is Old Testament. And if you read this, you get a great understanding of who God is. You get a great understanding of who God is. It's through this. And I tell y'all myself, I'm living this. In the Job Bible study video I did, I'm living the book of Job. I'm living Abraham's life. I'm living Joseph. I'm living all these people. So how can this not be true? How can this not be true? How can you think you're to do away with this? This is why I say I don't like Christianity. And the main thing I don't like is how they be messing with the kids. How y'all participate in that child sacrifice. I don't like that. So no, I'm never going to say I'm in that group. I'm not in no group that is okay with child sacrifice, abusing kids sexually or physically, manipulating a kid, and then wondering why all these kids don't respect elders anymore. Don't get me to go on with that, but let's start reading this, because child, I'm disgusted. I'm really abhorred with a lot of the things that is going on. And I know that it's a reason. At first I felt some type of way that I wasn't raised up on the word, and like I didn't know nothing. Like, God is literally the one that has raised me up. Like, he's really the one. Like, he sent me away to a land I never know. I've been telling y'all in these videos, he literally has moved me away just to raise me up. He's isolated me like narcissists will do. They will isolate you for their gain. But the thing with God, and the difference between him and the enemy, is God does everything for a greater good because he's righteous. He is a righteous God. Everything has purpose. The good and the evil is to serve a purpose, because like I always say, if it wasn't for the evil that was done to me, I wouldn't be where I am now. I wouldn't have the wisdom, the understanding. I wouldn't have so much insight when I read this. I wouldn't be able to connect if I too didn't go through the same evil things that the people in the book have went through. You know? But it just baffles me to think that these Christians tell you guys to only read this. This is why you don't have no true understanding of who God is. You know? It's just, man, this right now is why the priests are going down. Like I said in that Bible study video about why the Black church, the Black community, the Black church and the congregation, because the priests, their whole job is to lead the people, but yet they have led the people astray. They got people really celebrating holidays, like, and then trying to call it something else, trying to call it something different. It's just people trying to make stuff fit their narrative, and you can't do that, bruh. You can't do that. So I'm gonna first read this right here about this little comment that people say, because I once used to get mad, but I don't even get mad no more. I just know that people don't have true understanding. And for one, a lot of people, they don't get who God is and why he does things he does. And honestly, it's not totally for you to understand. I mean, you do need understanding. That's why you ask for understanding, and he will give it to you. But a lot of times the answers that God gives to us, we don't want to receive it because we think he's a genie. We think he works for us instead of us working for him. And that's where you got him messed up at every single time. And that's exactly why he's going to show you who he is. And that's why exactly he's going to allow the enemy to get to you. That's why he's going to send the hits out. That's why he's going to chastise you. That's why he's going to correct you, to show you, baby, That's why y'all gotta look at the Book of Job Bible study. Look at that Book of Job Bible study, because we talked a lot about this. We talked about about God's sovereignty and why He allowed Job to go through his Job season. The same reason why He will allow you to go through your Job season, going through the wilderness, going without. So y'all gotta watch that video, because I talked about a lot of this in that video as well. So let me read this right quick. So it says, the Christian God is a narcissist, doesn't really allow for free will, and doesn't deserve worship. This is what the person said. Like, don't play with my God. Yes, He does deserve worship. Who are you? You don't deserve worship. That's what be throwing me for a loop, because a lot of humans actually embody some of these same traits, which is why the world is ran off of narcissism, which is why a lot of men are narcissists, because guess what, baby? What did God say? For He made man in His image. What did He say? He said, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, the fowl of the air, over the cattle, over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth on the earth. So God created man in His own image. In the image of God, He created him. Male and female, He created them. And yes, there's many women that walk around with narcissistic personality disorder, highly narcissistic traits, because this comes from a place of power. It comes from a place of control. And especially 9 times out of 10, narcissistic people, they've been through a childhood where either you had too much attention, you could do no wrong. So now you got this grandiosity to you where you think your ish don't stink. You think you think you that, because you was mama's little boy, and mama made me feel like everything revolves around me. She cooks for me, cleans for me, she caters to me, she does this. So everybody else has to do this too when I get out in the world. Then you got the other spectrum of it where nobody cared for them. They always got criticized. They always, was not looked after. They was neglected. They was abandoned. They felt like no one cared for them. So then they go to a point where, man, I'm taking back control. It comes to a point where you want to take back control. So you get into that Jezebel spirit of control and wanted to change things up. Because at some point in time, you had no control. So now you want control, because that's all narcissism is. Narcissism is power, control, and manipulation. Power, control, manipulation. The reason why the world is ran on narcissism is because this is what the 1% is doing. They control everything. They control the inflation. They control all our rates. They control our communities. They control our churches. They control what we're reading. They control our education. That's why I say a lot of Christians have been indoctrinated. A lot of people have been indoctrinated. Our children at school, they're getting indoctrinated. They're teaching them what they want them to know. It's so sickening that, it's about power control, population control, and mind control. And the way they do that is through what they feed you through your portals. Like I was discussing in that last video about the music. Satan will use your portals to manipulate. He manipulates God's creation, what God meant for your portals to be used for. He will manipulate them for you to get turned the other way, for you to get led off your narrow path, so that you can start doing works that He wants you to do versus what God wants you to do. So you can become of the world and not of the kingdom. That's what He wants. And a lot of people will have these same traits in them. Oh, you think that everybody's supposed to cater to you. You think it's all about you. This is why relationships don't work, because people are selfish. Narcissism is a self-centered disease. It's about me, 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 me. Everything is about me, 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 me. And if you're a people pleaser like I once was, you're narcissist bait. You're narcissist bait because you want to please everybody, to be accepted, because you have been rejected, because you are that black sheep that have never been accepted truly in a space, or at least you never really felt like you could be yourself in a space without trying to be something else, because of being afraid of being casted out, being afraid of not feeling the love that you're looking to receive, the attention that you're looking to receive. So you will become narcissist bait. This is why, and I'm going to probably do this. I've talked about this before, about how BPD and MPD track highly narcissistic people and people with borderline personality disorder. Like I tell y'all, I identify with having borderline. Why we're narcissist bait. Why you often will see those relationships, because 9 times out of 10, people with borderline personality disorder have been raised up by narcissistic parents. Your needs were never met, whether it was emotional needs or physical needs or both. You've been neglected. You've been only seen for things that you can do for that person. So that's what you normally do. This is why we have that savior complex. We have that need to want to fix everybody else. Meanwhile, we're broken ourselves. But we put our needs to the back burner and give these people excessive glory, excessive admiration, like narcissists need. So let me read this, and then I'm going to read the definition of the narcissism and everything, because baby, I'll make a whole sermon, okay? It's already 30 minutes, and I didn't even get into the meat of the video. So once again, this is probably going to be a long video. But so it says this person, and a lot of people in this little comments on here, somebody said the God of the Bible is actively evil. Like, shut up. Shut up. He is the Lord. What he's saying in Isaiah 45, I am the Lord your God. I create peace. I make evil and I make evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. And I actually told y'all a while ago that I kept seeing feathers, and I understand there's signs of protection, that God is with me still, that even though I'm feeling away and everything, that I'm still with you, girl. Don't be dismayed. Stay and do what I told you to do. Stop worrying about that other stuff, because I got you. I know what I promised you. Just focus. But it was also symbolism for why there is a need for good and evil. And every time that I was questioning, it was right on track. It was right on time when I had begun to talk to y'all a lot about this good versus evil, why there is a need for it, because it's to push you into your purpose. Everybody's walking around here not knowing their purpose, but if you understand why the evil was done to you, and if you understand who you are, and you get to spend alone time with God, and you ask him to reveal yourself to him, and you start building that relationship, that intimacy with him, he will reveal to you why your soul was called into human form. He will reveal to you what your soul mission is, what your purpose is. You will begin to have fulfillment when you begin to include God in everything that you do. When you really build a genuine relationship, you will have fulfillment. A lot of people walk around here unfulfilled is because, for one, you're missing the Father. You're missing the connection that you need. You're a lost sheep out here, lost in the world. Lost in the world. You need a shepherd. You need someone over you. You need someone that truly has your best interests at heart. And that's why I say the difference between God and the enemy, God only does what he does to get you to where he wants you to be, for what he called you here to be, because he created you. For he formed you in your mama's belly. He's like he said in Jeremiah, for I knew you, for I formed you in your mama's womb, for I formed you in the belly. Before you was formed in your mama's womb, I knew you. And I declared, I ordered you to be a prophet amongst the nations. That's what I'm saying. If you get to reading your book, you will have understanding the evil you went through, why you went through it. It might have been harsh, but it's also sometimes not directly because of you. It's because of the people that came before you, your ancestors, so y'all say. It's because of their iniquities. It's all in the 10 Commandments. It's all in the 10 Commandments. So we're going to get there. Let me read the thing. Child. So it says, the guy, whoever this person is, so it says, this Christian God is a narcissist. He doesn't really allow for free will and doesn't deserve worship. It says, this argument isn't very fancy, and I typed it out on mobile. Okay. So it says, let's pretend your biological father, who at least partially created you, brought you a book. In the book were all these fantastic stories about things your father had done, like leading slaves to a holy land, causing a flood across the planet, sending bears to kill children who insult his friends, gave everybody fish to eat, walked on top of water, turned people to salt, and brought himself and other people back from the dead. Then he says, there is no proof whatsoever that any of this is true, or other than that, a lot of people believe it. Then he says, there is no proof whatsoever that any of this is true, other than that a lot of other people believe it. If you believe it despite having zero evidence, you can come worship me and sing me praises for eternity and be loved by me, and that's all you will ever want. However, if you don't believe it, I'll lock you in the basement and set you on fire. Doesn't matter if you believe him or not. That person is a nut. Stop playing with my father like that, bruh. It says, and the choice they gave you isn't a choice, it's an ultimatum. Choose me or suffer is God's motto. And if that's the case, even if I choose him to avoid going to hell, can it really be called a choice? Why is choosing God or not the only choice? He says, I don't believe in God anymore, but I think if he is real, he is just a narcissistic sadist who enjoys tormenting us with the existential crisis instead of just proving he is real. Do you think God is worth worship? If so, why? Even if everything in the Bible is true, even if he is perfect, why does that make him worth worship? Do you think you really have a choice if God exists? Why can't you choose to not believe and still be a good person without going to hell? How are you truly a good person if you don't believe and if you don't honor the one who created you? The same way they out here in the Ten Commandments, it says, honor your mother, thy father, and y'all will constantly bang that line. Why is God not worth honor when he created your mother, your father? He created all the humans and he created the world for his own gain, not just for you. It's really for him. Everything he's doing through you, for you, to you, it's for him. But if you worship him, if you celebrate him, if you obey him, you too will have your reward, a good reward. And if you don't obey him, and if you transgress his laws, and if you continuously go against him and work against him, you too will have your reward. Like he said, like them heathens that stand in synagogues and think that they doing something. I'm gonna put the scripture up there. It says, I think I actually wrote it in this journal. He said, they too will verily have their reward. You will verily have your reward. Let's see if I can find it right quick. He said, don't be as the heathens who love to stand in synagogues. Where is it? Yeah, he said, and when you pray, you should not be as the hypocrites are, for they love to pray standing in synagogues and in the corners of the streets that they may be seen of men. Verily, I say to you, they have their reward. Meaning, he gonna pay you back for that one. He gonna pay for the fake. When you be fake, you gonna pay for that. And this is how I know I'm God's daughter for real, because I act just like him. Like, I'm cool. If you respect me, you good. If you be loyal to me, you good. But if you betray me, if you steal from me, if you backdoor me, I'm gonna pay you back for that one. I'm gonna cut you off. God will literally cut you off from this life, from the existence, because it's to prove and show his sovereignty. And truth be told, narcissism, they have a little bit of a confused identity as well. And I can see how God has identity issues. But this is why we have identity issues plaguing the world. What I always be saying, like, there's a major identity crisis, especially in our community, because we don't know who we are. And then we have had people, and when we think we know who we are, we got people that try to come and rebuttal that. We got these demon seeds that try to come and rebuttal that. They do everything to strip you from knowing who you are. They try to tell you, oh no, this ain't that, you ain't this, you ain't that. They try to come and counter you. They do stuff like this, talk against you, but meanwhile, you're a good person. And as a good person, oh, you do everything right. You don't do no evil to nobody. You don't do no evil. And this is how actual narcissist, this person is probably the real narcissist, because you think you just so good that you ain't never did nobody wrong. You think you ain't never did nobody wrong. You ain't never did not one wrong thing. You never did nothing. And when people do things, there is a reward for that. Might be a good one or a bad one. You're going to pay for that. That's what they call karma. You're going to pay for that one. Toe for a toe, foot for a foot, blow for blow, whatever he said in that line. You're going to pay for that. In the way that another man killeth someone else, he too will be killed in that way. He too will feel that pain that you caused that person. You too will feel that. He said, but when you pray into your closet, and when you shut your door, pray to the Father which is in secret, and the Father that's within secret shall reward you openly. But when you pray, use not vain repetitions as the heathen do, for they think that they should be heard for their much speaking. Don't be like them, for your Father knows the things that you need before you even ask him. Yeah. Ooh, I'm glad I wrote these down. It says, let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of these things cometh the wrath of God upon the children of disobedience. This is God's word. You're to obey him. There is no true free will with outside of boundaries. You have free will to a certain extent. Just like, I mean, and this is another thing that blows me because it's like, y'all will conform to governments. Y'all will conform to the government who too gets their whole structure from here. You gotta read Old Testament, bro. You gotta read the book to see. I'll be like, dang. Even how we have the city, the suburbs, the country. That's God's order. That's what he did. That's what he ordered how it should be set up. He's the one. This is why you see animals out in the countryside. You might see some out in suburbs because I see some out here, but it's not like it is in the country with all the hills, the valleys and stuff. Everything is for a reason. The way he designed the animals to have the cleft hooves and all of that, the cities of refuge, everything about God's law, everything about Levitical law, everything here as I'm reading, I'm like, dang, this is where the government get this from. I told you I had a book one time, but I never really read it. I just skimmed through it, but I had checked it out from the library, and it was called 100 Bible Verses That Built America. And I'm like, yeah, this is how I feel after reading the Bible. I see everything. I see where they get everything from. You got that from God's ways, what God ordered of the people from long ago, from the beginning of time. And if you understand, that's why this why you cannot tell me, bro, that this word ain't this ain't factual. That's why I say I don't fit in with the spiritual community all the way either, because they be trying to debunk this. They be trying to act like, oh no, do away with that whole thing. You wonder when you say it's no rule book to life, but baby, this is your rule book. If you understand this, you're gonna get all the wisdom. This is how you get spiritually fed. This is how you get true clarity, true understanding. So many people are intimidated by this book. I don't know if you're intimidated because you don't understand it, you can't read it, you don't know how to read, and because it speaks in a lot of parables here. I speak fluent sarcasm, so it's very easy for me to be like, oh, okay. And that's why I think it's funny when he be saying certain stuff. Like, I'd be like, God, you is just, that's why I'll be like, I'm really like, now that I know who I am, and I always wonder, why am I like this? Like, you know, like I have a low threshold. I don't take a lot of BS. I can't take a lot of that. I'm very sarcastic. I got my two sides too. Like, it depends on you. If I tell you not to do something, if you cross these boundaries, if you cross my boundaries, you're going to get snipped. Period. You don't get to do what you want with me. God is the same way. You don't get to do what you want with him. You don't get to do what you want with him. He gave you free will, but it's within boundaries. He gave you law to follow. So if he gave you law to follow, you can do everything else except these things here. Y'all follow the rules at your job. Some people don't. You know, I mean, I look like that. I don't follow everything. But even at your job give you rules. You can do anything outside of this. These CEOs and stuff, you know, they run a company. You will never meet the CEO for your job unless you may be working like a small company. But the CEO has a structure for how his company is to be ran. He gives the authority to the executives, you know, to the managers, to all the personnel on all the team, to all the officials in the business. You can do anything outside of this. You can't just come in changing up people's stuff. If you won't go on your job right now and go change up all their rules, and then you could go against their rules, they tell you got to be here by this time. Guess what? I bet you show your butt up on time. They tell you this is your assignment. It has to be due by then. I bet you do it. So why is that so hard to do the same for God, the one who created everything that's here? Every resource that's here, your AC, your heat, the sun, the moon, the light, the waters. How is it so hard to obey him? How is he so wrong for having order It's all to create order. It's to create structure. His rules, his laws. No, you don't just really get to have all the free will. That's why Satan want to push this do as you will campaign. Do as you will. You don't have to listen to those laws. You don't have to listen to your Bible. You don't have to listen to Levitical law. You don't have to follow Jesus. You don't have to do none of that stuff. You don't have to try to be more like him. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Do as you will. My body, my choice. I get to do whatever I want out here. But then you go to somebody's job and you conform. You conform to these laws that the government puts out here, but you don't conform to God's law. That's why when Trump said that time, when he said that the people, it's the people. Y'all wonder why, and the people, the democracy, sit here and complain about a lot of stuff that's going on in the world, but y'all easily conform to the BS. You conform to it and then complain about it. You don't even understand popular sovereignty. We don't even understand that majority rules. We don't even understand. Even down to that 3-letter company that y'all know who we talking about, that everybody afraid of, the 3-letter company. It's just so interesting because people be saying so. That's why I say it's just wild out here. Y'all don't even understand where a lot of this stuff stem from and what the real agenda is behind stuff. This is why when Trump said, before he ever took office, I saw a video of him saying how basically the democracy is stupid. They'll believe anything. You'll go with anything because it's lost sheep that needs guidance. And when God is trying to be your shepherd and give you that guidance, you don't take wise counsel. Because you say, how can I believe something that I can't see? That's what having true faith is, believing in the unseen. It's just, like this person said, if you believe it despite having zero evidence, you can come worship me. That's what he wants. Yes, like I said in the book of Job Bible study, that's what he wants. He wants you to look crazy because it's all for his greater good. Everything he do is for his gain. To prove to you and those other people that once again, I am the Lord your God. I am the one that I'm everything. I have the most power. I have the power to shut the lion's mouth. I have the power to send out the hit. I am the number one shooter. I'm the number one hitman. He send the hits. Even as I'm reading Kings, I'm like, God don't play. Like, the more I read, I'm just like, God don't play. He is not a man that he shall lie. If he tell you something, if he tell you he's going to do something, good or bad, that's how I know I'm his child, bruh. If I tell you I'm going to do something good or bad, I'm going to do it. It's not a threat. It's a promise, babe. It's a promise. It's a promise, Pooh. These people don't believe me. My narcissistic family didn't believe me. My narcissistic lovers don't believe me. You didn't believe me. Now I'm the bad guy because I cut y'all all off. I told you you're going to pay for that. I ain't going to really come out and seek revenge on you. My revenge alone is just cutting access to you because it's a blessing to have me. It's a blessing to have me in your life. And you took advantage of me. You used and abused me because of my people-pleasing ways. You used and abused me. You took advantage. You took my kindness for weakness, and don't you ever dare do that. Don't you ever dare do that. And the reason why I can easily submit to God, even though he's narcissist, he does the same tactics. That's how I know he's narcissist, because I be saying the same things. And I'm like, dang, you treat me just like everybody else. God has favoritism just like our narcissistic mothers and our narcissistic fathers. He has favoritism too, based on who's obedient to him. Just like your narcissistic parents do, based on who is obedient to them. Most times the black sheep, you got your own things you want to do. You move your own way. You got your own mind. You see all the buffoonery of the family. You see all the buffoonery, and sometimes you might call it out, or sometimes you just separate yourself because you're not with it. And they don't like that. They don't like that. Like these people who want to separate themselves and you want to do other than what God told you. You don't want to obey him. You don't want to worship him. Like narcissistic parents, they like the children that worship them. As long as you worshiping them, you good in their eyes. But if you call them out, they're not going to like that. They're not going to like that. Even if sometimes you do worship them, because I've experienced it, because I've been bred, I've been groomed to be narcissist bait. I've been raised by narcissistic parents and then been in narcissistic relationships with people who just want to take. And then want all this glory and want all this excessive admiration and want me to cater only to them. The difference with God is, and this is why I was perfect bait for God, but it was all strategic. That's why we're the chosen ones, the holy ones, the righteous ones, and the chosen ones. Those are 3 different group of people. All of those are who God loves. He loves his holy ones, he loves his righteous ones, and he loves his chosen ones. He loves all 3. Because some people are not real. Like people keep using this chosen ones term, but chosen ones is specific. It's specific. It's those black sheep it's those chosen ones, those ones who have been pulled out and set apart. So anyways, y'all, because this video get ready to get long because we ain't even scratched the surface for real. But I just need people to understand, like, this is why, I mean, it's just real interesting. But we're gonna read narcissistic personality disorder and stuff. But first I'm gonna keep reading a couple of these comments that they said. So it says, somebody said, I completely agree. This is why I no longer believe in the Christian God or the Bible. And I remember I told y'all that my youngest daughter dad, he said, I don't like your God. That's because you want to do what you want. People really think that they can just do what they want out here. People really just think you can do, it's levels, it's boundaries. And when you cross that boundary, now you're trespassing. Now you need to do a trespass offering to God. Now you got to humble yourself and say, God, I'm sorry. I crossed the line. But the thing is with narcissists, these narcissists out here, they don't think that they should have boundaries. That's why they always overstep in their boundaries. And God too, as a narcissist, he creates the world. So there is no boundaries for him. Who are you to give me a boundary? I do what I want with you. I do what I want with you. I do what I want with the animals. I do what I want with whatever. I can do whatever I want because I created it. This is my creation. The same way your narcissistic parents think that they can do whatever they want with their kids because these are my kids. I own you. I control you. You're to do what I say. Where do y'all think they get this power hungry mindset from? Imitations of God, counterfeits of God. These are the counterfeits. These are the Pharisees. These are counterfeits. People be wanting to just do what they want. Oh, I can do what I want. I said, another thing I've noticed is that you pray for something for years and never get it answered. What's up with that? You must worship me and I'll answer your prayers if I feel like it, but you must continue on worshiping me. It's all about him. Ding dong. Yes. Yes. It's all about him. Yes. That's what you must do. That's what you must do. You're his creation, bro. Everything must do as he says. If the son didn't do as God commanded it to do, he will surely pay. Just like the angels, they didn't do what God told them to do. This is why y'all was casted out. Because you have a role. God does everything he knows what he's doing. Placement, timing is everything. He knows what he's doing. This is his world. He knows everything. He's the all-knowing God. He's the all-knowing truth. This is why I don't need to go to nobody else to know what I'm to do. I literally get my leadership, my guidance, my instruction from the Father. I don't have to go to nobody else. I don't have to go to school. I didn't go to school for this. God raised me up. He isolated me by sitting me down, getting me. He allowed me to go through that. Me and my baby daddy, that second one, it happened for my good. He allowed that to happen. He allowed that. I needed that pregnancy. Sometimes he will get you pregnant. He will allow you to get pregnant because it's through you that he's going to bless the world. It's through you. That's why he don't want them abortions. That's why stop that. You're messing up God's plan. You messing up his flow. And you're going to surely pay for that. Because now you're making him have to move around. All right, now I got to do this. Now I got to do this just to get this to happen. The prophecy must be fulfilled. It was necessary for my daughter, my second daughter. That's why I think I have I have a connection to both of my children. I love both of them because they both changed me. My first daughter, she got me started. But this second one got me here. Got me into my walk with God for real. Whereas at first, I started, my spiritual journey in 2018, after leaving my narcissistic first BD, but it took for that second baby where I completely was in isolation, where I was completely alone, where I was just in the house, just really to myself, focusing. And then it took for me really for him to isolate me and get me completely away. At this point, I got to get you away from, I have to exile you, get you completely away from your family, away from everything I got to isolate you like narcissists like to do. They want to isolate you so they can have their way with you. So they can have their way with you. That's what God wants to do. But it's to produce greatness within you. It's to heal you. It's to help you. It's to give you identity. It's to give you purpose. It's for him to use you. That's why it's a must that you go in your isolation season. I'm so happy, and that's why I feel fulfilled. I was talking to, somebody the other day, and, she was like, everybody, she was like, she just was in a funk, basically, she didn't even know what was really going on. She was just was something spiritual that was going on with her. She felt like something has come into my body and I'm just purging. I really think, she was having a midlife crisis because she's turning 30 this week. And she was like, just everybody, she was like, telling me about what she's doing. Because she's doing some different type of citizenship or whatever. Which once again just shows that what she been talking to me about, about what she's doing, it made me once again realize, because they have sovereign citizens, so basically she's going for her sovereign citizenship. And if you don't know what it is, research it, whatever, but it just goes to show once again, they have brainwashed the masses. They have full control of the masses. We all are a number, which is why we have our numbers when we're born. Which is why we don't have rights to the land. But that's a whole different thing. But she was saying, even though, a friend of hers too is going through, even though she got things, she got the materials, she's still just in a funk. But this is what happens when you have things. And she was like, it's just something going on. She was like, everybody's feeling like this. And of course, I didn't say, because I'm like, I don't feel like that. Like, I don't feel like I'm losing it. But right up around my third, when I was about to turn 30 last month, I was feeling, some ways, but it was just a season just feeling like, I'm about to be 30 and I ain't really where I really want to be at, where I thought I was going to be at. But once again, it ain't about where you think you're going to be at because God has the final say. He's already ordered your steps. But once I snapped out of it, got myself together, I got back focused on my task at hand for what God called me here to do. Because we look at numbers in a different way than what God looks at numbers as. We have timing on our life. We have a plan for our life, but that's not according to God's plan for our life. And our plan for our life don't really matter if it's not congruent with what God has planned for our life. So a lot of people will feel unfulfilled because, for one, you lacking that closeness with the Creator, the one who created you. You lacking that closeness. You lacking that intimacy. You lacking that person to lean on, that the one that you really can lean on, that you really can talk to about all things, that really is your shepherd. When you're feeling lost, when you don't understand yourself, you're not understanding why you're going through what you're going through. That's what God is there for. And that's what will really bring you true peace in life, is knowing that you're not really going through it alone. You have God. You just need to sit there and talk to the man. You need to sit there in your solitude and talk to him. You know, but a lot of people feel like that they have all these materials and they still feel a void inside, something empty. You're missing your father. That's who you're missing. You're missing that you don't feel the father's love because you're not connected. You're not in relationship with the father. So you feel like you're missing something. You're trying to fill these voids. And materials will never fill these voids. I'm already an hour in, and I ain't even get to the narcissist thing yet, you know? So a lot of people just in these comments, just talking their piece, like, you know, one thing I don't get is that somebody said, well, one thing I don't get is we are to honor our parents, even if they're brutally abusive. How can you have high respect for someone that tortures you? You know, he said, when a child is being brutally tortured, where is God? Nowhere to be found. He does nothing, but you must worship him. Sometimes the child gets killed or worse. And you have to understand, as harsh as it may sound, that we pay for the sins of our forefathers. We pay for it. It's 10 commandments. It's 10 commandments. Let's flip to it. It's 10 commandments. It says, thou shalt not bow down yourselves to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy to the thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that take his name in vain. The evil that's done to you is to push you into your purpose, but because the enemy has this Christianity has told y'all to keep everything a secret. These y'all Christian family members told y'all keep everything a secret. Don't talk about it. Don't have no feelings. You're not in tune with yourself. A lot of y'all purpose is, your pain was to produce your purpose. It's to produce your purpose. The evil that was done to you is to help with your purpose. But so many of y'all are afraid to talk. Y'all have been silent. Y'all afraid to even talk about what you've been through. Because you have pride. People say, oh, people don't have no pride no more. Pride is a deadly sin, baby. We're not supposed to have all this pride. That's a deadly sin. That's egotistical. That's covering up something and acting like this ain't that when it is that. And speaking on that one thing is what's going to actually give you meaning in life. Yeah, it was hurtful to go through that. But you have to understand that some of y'all parents, they don't truly obey God. Because y'all are in these cults called religion. Y'all in these cults called Christianity, called Catholicism, which Christianity stems from that. It's all branches of it that have been broken out under these demonic rulers who serve false gods. When God said, I'm the Lord your God, you're not to have no other gods before me. You're not to make any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above or earth beneath or that is in the water under the earth. You're not to do all these things. You're to remember you're to follow certain rules and regulations. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath day, the Lord your God. And that day you shall not work. Your son or your daughter, your manservant or your woman servant, the strangers, the cattle, everything. But the world, your idolatrous family members, your idolatrous priests, who y'all have been bred and indoctrinated by, they have allowed the enemy to dwell within them and have used them. And you're going to pay for that. As I'm reading Kings, to see how you're going to pay for what you do. Solomon, the whole reason that the Israelites was even separated. But because God is not a man that he shall lie, If he say he's going to do good things, if he make a covenant with you, make a promise with you, that's going to come to pass during his timing. Because there's certain things that need to play out for that to even happen. Certain things has to transpire for the prophecy to be fulfilled. In Kings, I still didn't even get to narcissism to really, because I really want to go in depth about this thing. In Kings, though, it says, so basically Ahijah, I think that was his name, he was a prophet, and he's the one that told Jeroboam that he ripped up the clothing into 12 pieces, and he gave Jeroboam 10 of them. That's to signify that you're going to be king over these 10 tribes of Israel. They split children of Jacob up. And it's because Solomon didn't have the direct effect of it, but it went on to his son. His iniquities of intermarrying with those Canaanite women, the Moabite women, all them building those idols, building those sacrifices to Asherah and Azareth and all of them demonic entities, them Baal worshipers and all of them that's in their court that do wicked things, that wants to completely go against God, that intentionally wants to transgress God, his laws. You start building high places for them because your lust of the eyes and your flesh made you do something to go against what God told us not to mix breed. You're not listening to what he told you to do because he has certain order. Why do humans think that we're the only ones that should be mixed and breed? No other animals do that because they follow God's commands of them. But us mammals, as humans, we're the only ones that want to breed up, mix up everything. You're going to pay for what you do. When he told you not to do it, it's law. Law remains until the authoritative one, until the Lord of the hosts, until the Lord of lords, until the Almighty decide that this to be changed. And he ain't changed it up. His little demon seeds then changed it up. He's allowed it. He's allowed it so it can play out the way it needs to play out for certain prophecies to be fulfilled. Because for one, he does it to show his sovereignty, to show that I'm going to prove to you who I am. Go ahead and do that. He didn't harden Pharaoh's heart, ease it up, let it up. And he even does that with me. Harden my heart towards this person, let it up. Harden up, let it up. Because it's to show power. It's to show that you think you got power. It's to prove to both parties. He had to prove to the Israelites that I got y'all. So let me make Pharaoh harden his heart up. He raised Pharaoh up. He had to allow him to harden his heart. So, because like it says, for scripture says to Pharaoh, I raised you up for this purpose, that I might display my power in you, and that my name might be proclaimed in all the earth. Therefore, God has mercy on whom he wants to have mercy, and he hardens whom he wants to harden. It says, so this is Romans 9:14-18. What shall we say? Is God unjust? Not at all. For he says to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I have mercy, and I will have compassion on who I have compassion. It does not therefore depend on human desire or effort, but on God's mercy, because he can do what he wants. You can't do what you want. You think you got free will? You don't. He has free will. And as long as you do as he told you to, you're going to be fine. It don't matter if he don't answer your prayers right away. If he say he got you, he got you. But there's things that you need to do. You need to be obedient and do what he's telling you to do until it comes to pass. And sometimes you're blocking your own blessing because you refuse to do what he's telling you to do. Because you want to conform to the world. You want to be of the world. You want to conform to society versus conforming to him and doing what he told you to do. Like, it's just that simple. It is not therefore depend on human desire or effort, but on God's mercy. For scripture says to Pharaoh, I raised you up for this purpose, that I might display my power in you, and that my name may be proclaimed in all the earth. He does this stuff to show that he can do what he wants. He can spare who he wants. He can rise up whoever he wants. This was just to show God's sovereignty. It's to show that he conquers all. It's to show both parties, the people that think that they run and stuff, and the people that's the subordinates of the people that think they run and stuff. It's to show you why you should have faith in him. Hey, I told you I was gonna save you. I'm gonna put you in this tough situation so that when I save you, you can give me the glory like he loves. Like you can be like, oh, thank you. Oh, God, you are real. Oh, you came through. Oh, you really are a man of your word. Oh, I love you. So that you can do that, and so that those other people can see, oh, your God is real. I mean, that's why I say read the Old Testament. Read the book of Daniel. Them the friends, I'm gonna forget their name. Abednego, Meshach, and all, and them. They went through they was not bowing down to them golden molten images. They was not bowing down to the golden calves. They were not idolizing false gods because they knew who their God was. And the Pharaoh, I think, was it Pharaoh then? Whoever what was his name? I forget his name right off the top of my head right now. But the kings, because it's just a pattern throughout the Bible. Once again, to show God's sovereignty. The kings, he allows the kings to do their little wicked evil. Like he's doing now. Like we're going to see, like in the next couple of years, the prophetic warning playlist that I've been talking to y'all about what's going to happen in Russia. Y'all going to see that prophecy be fulfilled, and it has to happen. It has to happen. It has to happen. Y'all going to see how these kings, well, now they're called presidents. Y'all going to see how he allows them to do certain stuff to show once and for all who is in control. Who is in control. But even them, like I was saying in the book of Daniel, they was not bowing down to them. And once they didn't bow down, he said, all right, you didn't do it. You're going into the fiery furnace. Okay, well, we're getting thrown into the fiery furnace. And now our Savior shows up and save us. We came out the fiery furnace looking like no smoke. Looking like, what did you really how did you make it out of that? You were supposed to burn in there, but you made it out? How, Sway? How did you make it out of there? It was to humble them, to show, wow, your God is real. I'm going to believe in your God, even in Kings. Like I'm reading down in Kings. Like, I mean, it's just a repetition. These kings, like, look how many times, like, he had to switch out the Israelites' kings. You got to only reign for 2 years. Like, you got to only reign for this many years. He told Solomon be like your father. Your father David was a good man. He was righteous. He followed the Lord's commandments. He did what was right in the eyes of the Lord. Do as he did. But you didn't. You went to marry them Canaanite women. Esau, you went to marry those women he told you not to marry. Look at the pattern in the Bible. Samson, you got with the women he told you not to get with, and then to pay the price for it. Now you're mad. And once again, now you're going to be calling on God to come save you. But just like with Solomon, okay, so God now got to show you, okay, you ain't listening. You have to, there are consequences and repercussions for not obeying the law. The same way your modern day law, there's consequences and repercussions for not obeying the law. You're going to go to prison. You're going to get this amount of time. You're going to lose your licenses and stuff. If you don't pay your child support, if you don't pay your car insurance, if you don't pay certain things, it's consequences. If you don't pay your bills, you're going to get evicted. If you don't pay your bills, your credit is going to be messed up. When it's time for you to need another place, you're not going to be able to get another place without doing this, that, and that, because this is what you did. There's consequences for your actions, baby. It's consequences for actions out here. Because it's to create order within humans. Because if it wasn't for laws, humans would be doing all types of craziness. All types of craziness. They are already doing it. They still do it even knowing that there is consequences. But that's the risk taker in them. That's the risk taker in you. You willing to try. You've made it up in your mind that you're going to do what you want to do anyway. Even if you know that that's not according to the truth, if that's not according to law, you're going to trespass and break that boundary. You're going to transgress. You're going to be defiant. Like they did. Solomon, you was not supposed to do that. All right, so now I got to take the kingdom from you. I blessed you with the kingdom. I blessed you with my chosen people. In my chosen city, the city of Jerusalem that I chose for my people. Out of all the cities of Israel, I chose Jerusalem. And y'all in my city building up these false idols, building up high places. Even the whole confusion of languages, why the whole human race doesn't speak the same language, is because Nimrod and them want to take it above themselves and start trying to become God and want to build this tower. You want to build the Tower of Babel. You want to go ahead of yourself. When God said to do this, and you said, we're going to just do what we want. We're going to just do what we want. Because he's not in physical form. He's not a human. What is he going to come do? Beat me up with his hands? And then he had to humble you. And then he had to knock all of that down. That's why he will send his creation. He will send the hurricanes. He will send the wildfires. He will send it like he's been doing and like he's going to continue to do. He will send the locusts. If y'all haven't noticed, bruh, these locusts, if y'all live in Texas, these locusts, they're out. The plague is here eating up the crops. I'm like, what is these things flying all over the place? They're like big grasshoppers. Maybe just flying and laying right in front of you and stuff. I don't like all that. But once again, it goes to show that this stuff, the plagues, it's real. He's going to send the locusts to eat up your crops. He's going to send the hail to destroy your crops so that the famine can be produced. He's going to send Russia and them to come do his big one on this technology, on these cyber attacks. It's surely going to come. He's not a man that he shall lie. And when he said he's going to pay you back for that, baby, he's going to pay you back for that because you don't get to do what you want to do. You don't get to do what you want to do. Them kings got into office. Solomon thought he could do what he want. All right, so now I got to pay you back. But because I made a covenant with your father, I got to also to be a man of my word with him because he did right in the eyes of the Lord. So I can't make him necessarily pay. So I'm going to take one of the tribes, and that's the only tribe that your direct descendants get to be over, which is the tribe of Judah. Did he separate Benjamin too? Yeah, he said. Well, I don't know, because I think, don't quote me on that right now, because I really got to finish reading that. But because the Levites, really, it's 12 tribes, including the Levites, but the Levites are not considered a tribe because they are to dwell among all the tribes, to be the priests, to be the physical shepherd that leads them, which are supposed to be your pastors and stuff, who are leading people astray. But just like with that, he had the prophet Ahijah, he had him to say, when he broke up the garments or whatever for Jeroboam, because he called Jeroboam, he said, Jeroboam, this is the word of the God, you're going to be leading these tribes. You're going to be leading his people. When he gave him those 10 pieces, that was signifying that you're going to have 10 tribes and the one going to be left to Solomon. But Solomon had to pay for what he did. So you get ready to get unalived. Right before he got unalived, he found out that the kingdom was getting taken from him. He found out that he was not going to be ruler no more. So that power and control that he once had, you're not about to have that no more. And people don't like to lose power and control. Narcissists don't like to lose power and control. Everything is about power and control. Everything is about the excessive admiration that comes with power and control. We still haven't even gotten there yet. So once again, this is obviously going to become a long video, but it's all good. But with that, so he snatched the kingdom from Solomon. Okay, but because I promised your father, I got to keep one. But the rest of them tribes, they coming out from under you. You don't get the rulership. But you're not even going to get to be ruler of none of this. You gonna get unalive for what you've done off with your head. To see how he just kept smiting them. Like, he really do. He is a savage. That's what I say. God is a savage, period. He will cut you off, like, literally. I might cut you off, just cut you out of my life, because I'm not about real revenge in the sense that I got to come after you, because I know God got you. You're going to pay for what you did to me. My father, he saw what you did. He know my heart. He know my intentions. He know my heart. He know I ain't never starting nothing, but I'm going to finish you. I'm going to finish you. I'm going to finish you. Call me the finisher, because I'm going to finish you. You try to hurt me, you try to backstab me, you try to use me, you try to abuse me. All right, now let me show you something. And all I gotta do is simply remove access. For these narcissists, removing access, going no contact, cutting you like you never existed, that hurt a person more than all of this and all of that. I ain't gonna put myself in a position where I gotta be away from my kids, because I be like, I don't move away. I don't separate myself from these people because I'm scared or because of, afraid of the fighting and all of that. It's the fact that I have children that need me. I have children that need me. So it's like I have to be smart, because if I take the vengeance into my own hands and want to go get you back for what you did, I might have to pay for that. But these narcissists, if I say if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. I told you, if you don't get your stuff together, if you don't know this, I'm done. If you keep on telling people about, you keep on telling my business, if you keep on making me feel unsafe with you, if I can't feel emotionally safe with you, I don't want to deal with you. You called my mom, as much as it's like I don't hate her or nothing, but the fact that I already had told you that day when we got into it at my house, I said, don't call me after this. Don't call me, but you think I'm playing because it's always been that way. You could always do this stuff to me, and I just forgive, and I just let it slide. But I'm tired of it. I'm tired of being tired. That part of me didn't die. I'm tired. You're going to respect my boundaries, and if you don't, you get cut, period. I don't care who you are. And I told her, you cross the line. You throwing shoes at my head and stuff in front of my daughters. You waking my baby up. You doing that all because I'm trying to express myself to you in a real humble way. But I'm not allowed to have those feelings. You invalidate my feelings, invalidate my experience like narcissists do. And it's like, okay, I'm done with you. And I told you, don't call me no more. I'm done with you. And you cussing me out, calling me all these names and stuff, just constantly triggering things that you've always done. But I spare you. I'm not sparing you no more. And then to cross the ultimate line of when you already know, because you stalking me, you already know of the situation I'm in. You got the nerve to put in a bogus CPS report against me, knowing I'm a damn good mother, knowing I put my kids before everybody, including you. I put my kids before everybody. I don't play about protecting my kids, nurturing my kids. But the thing is with people, they will envy you for that. I realize with these women out here, especially mothers, especially if you're a good mother to your child, they will envy you because they know what they wasn't to you, or they know what they're not to their child. People envy the most stupidest, craziest things, and it's beyond me. They envy you for having your own identity, for doing your own thing, for being the one that's going that way when all the rest of the crowd is going that way. I'll always be the one that got away. Got away from my original hometown, went to Baltimore, then broke away from the whole state as a whole. Now I'm in Texas. My ex just hit me up the other day like, I heard you out West Bubblefuck, I was like, how you know that? Like, how you know? Like, how do you know? But I'll get away. I'm not, and these people always know. They know when you're good to them. These narcissists know. They know. But we 120. We all the way in, and I ain't even read Narcissism. Okay, y'all. So let's go ahead and talk about the actual definition and stuff of narcissism, what the traits is, and we're gonna relate it to God. I'm out of breath because I just came downstairs. So it says narcissism is extreme self-involvement to the degree that it makes a person ignore the needs of those around them. While everyone may show occasional narcissistic behavior, true narcissists frequently disregard others or their feelings. They also do not understand the effect that their behavior has on other people. It's important to note that narcissism is a trait, but it can also be a part of a larger personality disorder. Not every narcissist has narcissistic personality disorder, as narcissism is a spectrum. It's like a number line. And truthfully, and I just ordered me the DSM-5 manual because I'm just into all this. So I'll be ordering all my books. Y'all got this big thing here. I bought it from a yard sale for what, $3? This has and I bought it from some old white people. So this is old. Y'all see that, y'all can tell by the pages, like, or whatever. But it has it has the Webster's dictionary, and then it has the Bible dictionary. And I didn't even know it had a Bible dictionary in it. And it has everything in it. And I'm actually I want to find another yard sale, and I wish I would have bought all the books, but I bought a bunch of books from that yard sale that time up the street. I bought a bunch of books that are good. Even like this book I got right here, it's like an armor. What's it called? It's like a history thing, because I told you I'm really just trying to piece together history and stuff. It even has that in here. Like it has, all your state flags. It has an atlas. It has a U.S. history in here. It has science terms. It has a legal dictionary. And I wanted to order that, which I still probably am going to order, that Black Law book, because a reading man is a ready man. If you don't know the law will take advantage of you. So it's better for you to know better, because if you don't know your rights, you don't have any. If you don't know what's expected of you, then you don't know what to follow. They have a legal dictionary. They have what is this? Famous quotes. It has a music dictionary. It has a rhyming dictionary, the Bible dictionary. It has medical terms, a medical dictionary. This thing was only $3. Like, I was so glad to get this. I was like, ooh, it was just a bunch of books, and I wish I would have bought all of them. But I actually just ordered me that psychology manual, because I'm not going back to school. At least I don't think so yet. Because when you go to school, they make you buy books. When I was in college, my professors just made us buy books, and then we read those books together, and they teach off the book. I can teach my own self everything. And God has already revealed everything to me. He's the one that leads me to everything. So that's my teacher. That's my boss, my manager, my provider, my protector, my leader, my husband, my father, whatever you want to call him. He is my husbandman. And really, a husband, because even like I'm just really doing so much studying. So, but really, a husband is a manager, the manager of another's property. They're designed to till the soil. They're the master of the house. So God is your husband. The fathers, what do? They manage their household. That's who he is. That's why it's like the things he's doing is not to hurt you. But the plan was never to hurt you. It was to prosper you. It was to give you a hope in the future. Your people have served other gods, and because of their iniquities, he has to make them pay. And sometimes when he make you pay, you turn that into pain. You get mad at him making you pay. You get mad at having to have consequences for your actions. You get mad at that instead of taking it on chin, instead of being a big girl, big boy, instead of, if you do the crime, do the time. Instead of you doing that and you confessing your sins, instead of going into repentance, people choose to get extra mad and then want to really go against him instead of saying, I'm sorry, or I'm sorry, I don't know what you're doing for me. Can you explain it to me better? Can you give me some direction? But most people are so of the world that if you come out of the world for a bit and really take heed and pay attention to what's around you, you will understand what God is doing for you. If you stop keeping all these secrets that your family telling you to keep, you stop being afraid to speak out against people who are actually doing you wrong, the same way these people speaking out about how God does them wrong. You got even people that out here teach you that you can't ask God no questions. You got people who say that because your parents have taught you, don't ask me no question. What I say goes. I'm the mother, I brought you in this world, I can take you out. I'm the father, I brought you in this world, I can take you out. That's how God feels. And you respect your parents for saying that to you. And some of y'all don't. But that's how they feel because of what they had to go through to get you here. God feels like what he had to go through to get humans here, what he had to do. He set up rules and regulations so that things can be in place. Everything is about order. If it wasn't for order, everything would be out of whack. You need order. You need structure. Humans need structure. Just like children need structures, adults need structure. Humans, period, from the time you come out the coochie to the time you depart off the earth, you need structure and you need guidance and you need your shepherd over top of you. And that's what he is here to do. He's to be your shepherd. But because many don't believe in what they can't see, even with Jesus no longer being here, because God sent Jesus too on a mission to save, to teach, to lead y'all to the Father. God poured his spirit onto him to show you that I am real. And people still rejected Jesus. They still, you still reject what the truth is. You don't believe in things you can't see. Now Jesus gone off the physical earth, out of the physical, and you still don't believe in it. You still don't follow what he says. You still don't do it because you want to do what you want to do, because you feel like, oh, Jesus died for my sins, so I can still sin if I want to. He already died for the sins. And then you wonder why your life is like it is, but no, because you're paying for what you're doing. That was just to change the system of sacrifice so that you ain't doing those burnt offerings and trespass offerings and got to go kill the goat, kill the lamb, break and split in half a dove and all of this stuff. You ain't got to do that because you don't have to do that, but you still have to repent and you still have to turn away from your wicked ways. You still have to do that. But these false teachers, they done told her, you ain't got to do this, you don't got to do that. And then when God reprimands you, you don't like it. Like they don't like to be reprimanded. They don't like to be reprimanded. You know, with God's word will never return void. Just like I was saying, like with Solomon, when he told her he's going to take the kingdom out your hands because of what you did, because you committed sins, and I told you not to do that. I told you to father like your father David, and I told you not to do that, but yet you still did it anyway. So now let me take my kingdom out your hands. I gave you my holy people. That's like giving you billions of dollars and you don't do what I told you to do with them $1 billion. I told you stash this for me. I told you hold this for me, cherish this for me until I come back. And then you go spend all my money and you think I'm not going to be after you? You think I'm not? When I was supposed to trust you with my possession, with my most prized possession, with my treasures, I trusted you and you betrayed me. And you started leading my people astray when I trusted you with my people. I trusted you with them. So now I got to show you that I'm boss. This is why one thing about it is when you get into this lane, when you walking with God, this is why you have to make the conscious decision every day. You have to stay spiritually fed every day. You have to make conscious decisions to obey him every day. Being saved is not like you just, okay, I'm saved now, and it's like, I'm good. No, you have to keep showing up, because if you don't see the pattern throughout the book, you see that you can be saved, and once you start transgressing, he will kick you out. He will no longer dwell within you. Like he don't dwell among a lot of these churches anymore. Where at one point he might once used to dwell there. His spirit came into the building. Even it says in here, he don't dwell in temples. It's not like he lives there a long time. He's a spirit. He moves. And he will pour his spirit on you, and then he will take his spirit up off you when you start going against the grain, because you can't serve two masters. So either you're going to serve God or you're going to serve the enemy. Either you're going to be of God or you're going to be of the world. You can't pick us. You can't be in between. You can't be lukewarm. So being lukewarm is worse than being hot or cold. Because at least if you cold, you chose a side. You chose the enemy, cool. Own that. You want to serve these false gods? Own that. You want to serve God? Own that. But you can't be somewhere in the middle. You can't be somewhere in the middle. You got to pick a side. And that's what a lot of people out here don't realize. You do got to pick a side. How you going to play the middle? Because when you around, and most people don't really know how to be neutral. So no, you can't. You can't be, I'm just neutral with both parties. No, you're not, because you're going to be telling this person my business, and you're going to be telling me their business, and you're going to be being messy. That's what you're going to be doing, because most people don't really know how to be neutral. And even still, how is it really being neutral when you're hearing this person talk crap about this person? That's like, if these two people don't like each other, and this person actually hates this person so bad that they want to take them out this world, and you hear them plotting against them, and you don't tell this person, you're doing a disservice to this person. You're not being loyal to that other person, because you know the plot that was against them, and you didn't even give them a warning. But when you don't do what you're supposed to do, he will remove himself from you. And that's what he did with Solomon. That's what he did with all those kings. He kept getting them. I'm just reading the book of Kings. I'm like, dang, it's like, all right, here we go, next one. He only got the reign for 2 years. Or he gave you grace. You got the reign for 14, 22 years. You got the reign for this long. But even when the Israelites came to Rehoboam, because now the tribe of Judah was in Rehoboam's hands. Jeroboam had the 10 tribes. Rehoboam, Solomon's son, had the tribe of Judah. And when they all was there, they all, before like the physical split, the Israelites and Jeroboam went to Rehoboam saying, because he was scared. Jehoram really didn't want to have reign because Solomon had tried to kill him. That's why he got away. He fled to Egypt to escape Solomon because he found out that he was going to become king. And he like, how dare you try to take the kingdom from me? Like, I was inherited this by my father. Like, you don't try to take what's mine. You try to take my possession. So Jeroboam, was like, all right, well, let's go to me and the Israelites. Let's all go to Rehoboam and ask him to lighten the burdens on you. Like, let's ask them to, they was pleading for their case. Can you please stop being so hard on us? Can you please this, that, you scorning us. You really doing a lot to us, basically. And Rehoboam, like, he was like, all right, give me 3 days to think about this. Like, give me 3 days. Let me get some wise counsel from the elders that used to serve my father when he was alive. They served him. So let me get some advice from them. And then let me get some advice from my homeboys that's around my age. And let me see what their wisdom is. And the elders was like, well, if you lighten the load on them, they will come and serve you. So if you be easier on them, they will love to serve you. Just like at your jobs, you want to serve people that are nice. You don't want to work for no mean manager. That make you not want to work there. That make you not want to come in. You want to serve someone that is, kind of easy on you, because we as humans, we love people to be easy on us. We love what comes easy. We think life's supposed to just be easy. That's why we be mad at God. But this is a game. This is a game, baby. You got to beat it. You got to beat it. But he was like, you gotta, he was like, well, if you be easy, the elders was like, well, take it easier on him, then they'll come and serve you. But the friends that's closer in his age was like, nah, you need to be hard on them. Don't lighten their load. Keep your foot on their necks. Like, period. Keep on doing what you're doing. So then Rehoboam was like, yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to be even harder than my father was on you. It's going to be thorns and thistles in your back. I'm going to be come down way harder on you guys than my father did. So I'm going to be even more evil. I'm going to do evil, and I'm going to have you guys doing evil too. And that made God furious. That pissed him off. But it was all a part of God's plan, because if Rehoboam if he had took the elders' advice and became easier on them, they would have wanted to serve him. And that would have made Ahijah's prophecy null and void, because the prophecy was that Jeroboam was going to have 10 of the tribes. The kingdom was going to be split, because God had to punish the Israelites too. The kings and the followers all going to pay for the iniquities, because the king is who sent the orders out. The king is supposed to be the shepherd over the flock, and like the pastors are, you're supposed to be the shepherd. So you're doing wrong and you're teaching them wrong. So you're going to get in trouble because you're teaching them wrong. And then because of your teaching, you're having them to do sins that transgresses against my law. So they got to pay too. So the kings and the Israelites had to both pay. That's why they got split. That's why they got sold and all of this, because they did the immoral acts. Even though they were led to do the immoral acts because their shepherd, their king told them to do it, they had to pay the price for that. You got to pay the price for what you do out here. Period. It's no getting around that. You got to reap what you sow. That is universal law. You got to reap what you sow. So if you sow bad seed, you're going to reap a bad harvest. And you can't get to complaining. And even if you die, so suppose before your harvest comes into fruition, suppose you plant a seed today. You plant that bad seed, and then you think, and you get unalive tomorrow. You get unalive tomorrow. That seed still won't come up. The harvest is still won't come up. And now the ones who's reaping the harvest still have to pay. That harvest still has to be a reflection. It has to be an after effect of the seed that was planted. You're not getting away with it. It's just you took the easy way out. But now guess what? Your hair is going to inherit it. So if you got some farmland, you plant these bad seeds, you're doing all this wicked stuff, and then you think you take the easy way out because you think, I'm getting out of here. I'm unalive myself, or somebody else might come unalive me, but I take the easy way out. No, you still going to pay for that through your bloodline. Your hair is going to pay for that. Like he said here, I, the Lord, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. So you hated me and you did this wickedness. And you think you're not going to pay for that? You're going to pay for it for generations to come. That's why the bloodline will be cursed. That's why you, as the black sheep, as the generational curse breaker, you're assigned to be the generational curse breaker. You're assigned to be the one that let God take you in, that choose God over the world, so you can do what he's calling you to do. And a lot of what he's calling you to do is speak up against your own family. Speak up about this wickedness that's going on in the world, about the wickedness that's going on within the family, to turn your pain into purpose, to speak up about that molestation you've been through, about the physical abuse, about the torture, to teach other people, hey, this is what I've been through. Hey, this is how to avoid to do this. This is how to be a better parent. This is how to be a nurturer. This is how to learn from the mistakes of my parents. But everybody wants to coddle parents. They want to coddle everything and hide stuff. No, everybody must be held accountable, period. You're getting held accountable because if you're big and bad enough to do the crime, be big and bad enough to pay the time. You got to do your time. And that's why God will allow it, because it's to make the prophecy come into fruition. The prophecy, his word can't return void, or else that makes him look like a liar. He's not a liar. Satan is the father of lies. He's the father of lies. Because he wants to combat everything that is God's word and God's law. God is truth. And he wants to go against God in any way possible. Because you wanted his spot, but you can't have his spot. So you try to imitate him. And now to imitate him, you got to kind of go against him. You got to study him. You got to know him. That's why he knows everything about God. He knows everything because you was his ace boom coon. You was his ride or die. You knew everything. That's like having a best friend that know your plays, or working in these companies like people do. You go work in a company. You learn the secret Krabby Patty formula. You learn the Starbucks formula. And now you go expose it to the world. They'll try to switch something up about it and taint it. Your ace boom coon, they know exactly how you move. They know what you do. They know your flow. They know how you set up your business. Like some of this video I just saw, you married this man, taught him how you run your car dealership, the girl, told him how you run everything. But he wants your spot. He wants your spot. So he wasn't even good enough with just eating with you and being, the co-counter or whatever, your co-partner. He wanted to get you out. He wanted your spot. And that's what he did. He wanted to take over the business. He wanted all the money. He wanted to be greedy. He wanted all the power. He wanted to have power, like narcissists typically do. But the reason why I say the difference between kind of God's narcissism is because what he does is for his greater good. It's for what he deems is righteous. And you might not think it's righteous. You might not think it's right. But your thoughts aren't his thoughts. Your thoughts aren't his thoughts. What you think is good, what the human mind see is good, God don't necessarily see that as good, because he knows why he does what he does, for his greater good. Everything has order. Everything has an assignment. I did that video on here on my profile about everything has an assignment. As I was reading Enoch, everything has an assignment. And if you don't do what you're supposed to do, you're gonna pay for that. The stars, one of the stars, or some of the stars, who really the fallen angel is, the stars that fell from heaven are the fallen angels, because you transgressed the Lord. They taught secrets that man was never supposed to know. Truth be told, we're not even supposed to know what it's like to have about paper to pen. That was one of the secrets that the angels revealed to the sons, to the daughters of men. That was one of the secrets, revealing heavenly secrets down to the children of men. You revealing these secrets to them, and now they taking what they want and doing what they want with it. But once again, God gonna use it as good, because now my people can learn how to write, and they can create these books. I don't know why they think this stuff ain't law. It be saying in here, okay, and I told him to write this down. They stored the scrolls. They wrote on scrolls, papers. Well, the scrolls paper is actually thicker than this, but they bought this color. This is old school, but because this is some thin paper, but it's not thin, but they store the scrolls in caves. That's why it's some real depth to this. But God knows everything that he's doing. And when he tell you not to do something, just like he told Solomon, just like he told everybody in there, you're going to pay for that. You're going to pay for it. So anyhow, so it says the cause of narcissism isn't known, but it can be linked to your environment. Your parents may have given you either too much adoration or too much criticism that didn't match your actual experiences and achievements. It could come from genetics. Narcissism. It says narcissism may be linked to your inherited characteristics, including certain personality traits. And it also can be linked to neurobiology. This is the connection between your brain, behavior, and thinking. And the reason why they don't know where it's not coming from, because they don't understand who God is. They don't understand who God is. Like all these psychological terms and all of this stuff, it really is spirits of good and evil, spirits of rejection, spirits of unworthiness, is like, which comes from the spirit of rejection, abandonment. Like this stuff, that these personality disorders that we have, it comes from our environment. Some of it comes from genetics. Because some people, that every human that's walking the earth aren't children of God. The fallen angels has knew the daughters of men, and these are descendants of them. They're descendants of them. Which we'll get to talking about that later, baby, because this stuff, whoo, it's intense. It goes deep. So it says people who show signs of narcissism can often be very charming and charismatic. And the reason why, what I want to go back to this is about the genetics and neurobiology. God is science. Everything about God is science. And biology is science. So if God is the Father and he's the creator, and his spirit is amongst the people, and he's pouring his spirit on people, people are going to develop likeness of him. He made man in his image. This is why most of these men walk around with this. Let's read here. It says people show signs of narcissism can often be very charming and charismatic. They often don't show negative behavior right away, especially in relationships. People who show narcissism often like to surround themselves with people who feed into their ego. They build relationships to reinforce their ideas about themselves, even if these relationships are superficial. God does the same thing. He surrounds himself with people who like to feed his ego. The seraphims, like, it's just so interesting. It says the seraphim, the name means the burning ones, and they are attendants at the throne of God. They praise God singing, holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. That's in Isaiah chapter 6, verses 1 through 7. They surround God. They're like God. The seraphims was God's bodyguards, and their job was to praise Him, sing them songs, and Satan was one of them. He was a seraphim, the closest thing to God, His bodyguard. That's why those that's closest up on you be the ones that envy you. They be the same ones that envy you and want your spot because they closest up on you. And they get to see what it's like to be around you. And then they want to mirror you like narcs like to do. They want to mirror you. They want to become like you. But God ain't becoming like nobody because He is the creator. He is the original. Satan is the counterfeit. And he does stuff for his gain. God does stuff for his gain. Yes, He does. But He will also do it for your gain. Everything He's doing is to get you where you need to be for where He called you to be. And if you allow Him to, if you have patience and let Him move on His time and according to His plan, you're going to see the fruit. I'm living testament to this. That's why I say I'm perfect. I praise Him a lot. I'm perfect narcissist bait. He loved me because I obey Him. I stroke His ego. All of that I used to give to these human narcissists out here. I do all of that for God now. I stroke His ego. I talk to Him all the time. I praise Him. I talk about Him all the time. I call Him. I holy, holy, holy. I praise Him. I sing my little songs, make up my own songs. Like, I be in here doing my little stuff. Like, I do that. I stroke His ego. I feed Him. I give Him excessive admiration. I talk about Him all the time. That's what He loves. Like they say, they surround themselves with people who feed their ego. That's what I do for God. That's what He loves everybody to do. Why do you think He wants to always get the glory for everything? That's what He does. This is what He does. He's such a narc, bruh. I was reading that to y'all in the book of Job. I'm like, do y'all hear what he's saying? Like, he be cocky with it. Like, that's why I'm like, that's how I know I'm his daughter, because sometimes I can't get a little cocky with it. But I be like, all right, chill, bruh. But I be like, don't play with me. Like, what? Don't play with me. He be popping his ish. And I think that's why I think it's so funny when I'm reading the word. It be like, wow. I love his humor, his sense of humor. Some people might not like it. Some people might not like his tough love. But I be like, you just so funny. Like, even when he called us some stiff necks. Like, when you talk about us, when you talk about me, I might end up laughing with you, depending on what you talk about. But most times, like, because I've been talked about my whole life. I don't care. I could say something back. But God, of course, I ain't going to say nothing back to Him. But regular people, anything you say, I can crack a jokey joke too. Don't play with it. And my joke might hurt your feelings though. So my feelings don't get hurt because I know the truth. So if it's true about me, like people used to call me fat and, still might, call me names or whatever. If you call me fat, if you talk about my weight, it's true. So why am I going to be mad at you? Why am I going to be offended by that? Now, of course, from my family, you don't want to just be hearing that all the time. And we're going to talk about this in that other video because I'm going to probably do another video about NPD versus BPD now that I have grown to understand the true dynamic of it. So I might do an updated video because the last one I did last year when I was talking about this, I was talking about it a little bit, but I really, it comes back into this, how we feed the narcissist ego. And then they too make us feel safe. That's why it's like a perfect union with me and God, because I'm looking for safety. People with BPD, they looking for emotional safety. They looking for validation. They looking to have their needs met. And I finally feel safe. I like narcissistic love, toxic love, like I did in that one video. Toxic love chased me into the arms of God. It chased me into the arms of God. And I feel so safe here. I feel protected. I feel seen. I feel heard. I can talk about how I feel to God, mad, sad, or not. I can express that to Him. He's not going to just shut me out like my narcissistic parents or narcissistic lovers might do, invalidate my feelings. He never invalidates my feelings. Do He always respond right away? Do He answer my prayers right away? He might respond the next day or 2 days later. Sometimes, a lot of times He responds to me the same day because we've built this connection. He trusts me, I trust Him. He knows I'm loyal. I know he's loyal. I know he got me. I know he would never leave or forsake me. We've built this connection. We've built a true connection. We feed each other like MPD and BPD does. And the thing with MPD, with these people with narcissists, they initially like love bomb you and stuff, and that's why they make you feel so. We're gonna talk about that in that video. But that's why they make you feel so safe initially. And then they let up on that, and then now it becomes all about them. God doesn't do that. It's always about God. As long as you obey him, you're gonna always like, keep stroking his ego, keep feeding him, he gonna keep feeding you. Whereas these narcissists, you keep feeding them, but they start to starve you. They feed you initially. They give you what you're looking for initially. They make you feel safe initially, like you could just fall into their arms, like, but then they turn on you. And then they start invalidating you. God is not going to do that. But if you have to seek that true intimacy and closeness with him, he's not going to do that to you. He's going to lead you right where you need to be. He's doing it for me every day. That's why I can talk about this. He has called me to talk about this because he's doing it through me. This is why he wouldn't allow me to go back to my family. This is why he wouldn't allow me. This is why I had to stay down through the wilderness when I was homeless. Everything. This is why I had to stay down. I had to stay down. Because he wants to get the glory for my story. But narcissists, especially narcissistic parents, they always want to take credit for your success. God wants the glory. He wants all the glory. All the glory. Excessive admiration. This is why when stuff going bad, we blame the devil. When stuff going good, we say, thank you, God. That's what he likes. That. He wants the glory for your story. But you have to go through the motions. You have to build the trust because he too got trust issues because people have betrayed him. His very own bodyguard betrayed him. His seraphim, the thing that he created. His own creation betrayed him. Betrayed him. Look at the family betrayal that we have in our families. We be hurt because our own blood. It's supposed to be flesh and blood. Your own blood betray you. Your own mom will betray you. Your own siblings, your sisters, your cousins, your daddy. They will betray you. Children will betray their parents. Look at what he said. His word will never return void. He said in the last days, I will turn, like sons will turn against their dads, daughters will turn against their mothers. Every family gonna be turning against family. This is gonna be that. In the last days, I'm gonna pour my spirit into the sons and daughters of men. These my daughters are gonna dream, gonna prophesy. My sons are gonna dream dreams and have visions. And this is what's happening. The amount of prophecies and prophetic words I see that's going on now, some of it might be false. Because I realize a lot of them just pander, especially the ones that talk too much about kingdom spouse and talk too much about money. It's like you're pandering to people. You're selling them a hope and a dream. Some stuff is prophecy, but tell them what they need to do in the interim for that to come to pass. Don't just keep on like, that's why I say this mess, this spiritual world, religion world, whatever they want to call it, it's just a hot mess to me. And that's why I just don't watch none of it no more. I'm just much more into my books now. I only watch my couple of little people that I rock with. Like, it's a mess. That's why I say I will never fit in. And it's all God's plan for me not to fit in. I will never fit in nowhere. I don't fit in with the Christian community. I don't fit in with the spiritual community because they out of whack. But the spiritual community, they don't celebrate a lot of things that these Christians celebrate. So it's like I like certain specs. Like it's certain things I like from both that makes me who I am. So, but it's still like I don't really fit in with you guys, and I don't fit in with y'all because y'all be talking too much of this. Christians be blowing me, and the spiritual community be blowing me too. So that's why I'm just in my own lane. It's just me and God. I don't need to fit in with none of these groups. I got the Father. I don't gotta do all of that other stuff. I'm already locked in. Federal, we locked in. Ain't no you or me, cause we is what I'm rapping. Federal, we locked in. Period. Y'all might not know that. That's that Money Bag song. But so there's different types of narcissism. I'm not gonna really talk about all that because I'm not going to really talk about that, but we're going to talk about the signs of narcissism. And then it's another little thing I want to read. So the signs of narcissism. Narcissism is still being studied and explored since many narcissists and people with NPD don't seek treatment, but there are some common traits of people with narcissistic behavior that you might be able to spot. Number one, a sense of entitlement. A common sign of people with narcissism is the belief that they are superior to others and deserve special treatment. Isn't that what God does? He is superior. He is, though. It's not a belief. It's a fact. It's not subjective. It's objective. It's a fact. It says, and they feel like they deserve special treatment, and He does, because He is God. He created everything. Everything that you have, this material right here, your phones, His creation allowed the sons of men to get out here and do the mining that they do. They digging in God's creation to get this stuff, to build our particle board, to build our stuff, to build our machines, to give us technology, to give us the fake light, because the true light comes from the sun. The energy comes from God's mountains, His creation. Our oxygen from His air, His plants, His creation. This is why you do have to serve Him, why you should worship Him for everything that you have, for the breath that's in your body. It's because of God giving it to you. These man-made people, they just recycled, they resourced what Source has given to them. So yes, you should give thanks to God. Yes, you should bow down to Him. This is manipulative behavior. Another common trait of narcissism is manipulative or controlling behavior. A narcissist will at first try to please you and impress you, but eventually their own needs will always come first. When relating to other people, narcissists will try to keep people at a certain distance in order to maintain control. They may even exploit others to gain something for themselves. This is a big one because God is very manipulative. Like I told y'all in that other video about Satan in the music industry, like, I think towards the end of it, I was saying that, I'm like, He will give you a promise. Like He gave Abraham, and He did this. He gave him something to hold on to. Like men will give us something to hold on to, manipulate you, tell you, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Oh, so you're hoping a dream, and they never come to pass. The difference is God's does come to pass. It's just in His timing. And you got to understand that human days and spiritual days, heavenly days are not the same. 1,000 human days equals 1 day in the heavenly realm. So you're rushing things when God is not rushing things, because He knows He has time, and He knows that sometimes what He has to produce for you takes time. And it's also things that He needs you to do to get in place to receive it. Because sometimes things that you think you're ready for, you ain't ready for it. You ain't even ready for it. And He gonna give it to you, you gonna run it right off. A lot of y'all be wanting love and stuff. You're not even really ready for it. You're gonna run it right off. You're not ready for it. You're not ready to be a wife. You're not ready to be a husband. You're not even able to provide or protect for your own self. You don't even know what it's like how to love somebody in their love language. So when you get this person, you're not even gonna know how to properly love them in the way they need to be loved. One thing I can say about God is God loves me. I feel safe. I feel emotionally safe. The one thing I can't find with these narcs, the human narcs that were around me, they validate my feelings. I never feel safe. Can't trust them. I can talk to God about any and everything. He's going to give me a confirmation. He's going to let me know. He's going to give me feedback. He's going to let me know when I'm right, when I'm wrong. He's going to give me correction. He's going to reward me. He's going to appreciate me too. He's going to show it through how much He continued to bless me. That shows His appreciation too for me. In the beginning, it does seem like you manipulating, you isolating. They say they keep people at a certain distance in order to maintain control. They isolate you. This is what I keep telling you about the isolation season. Why God is isolating you is to maintain control over you. It's to snatch you up out the world, get you by yourself so I can do my big one on you. I have videos up here about the isolation season, about the wilderness season. Your wilderness season, 9 times out of 10, is God is sending you into isolation. And why? I needed isolation. In isolation, I've been able to get rid of the distractions, and now I'm closest ever to God. That's a gift. I feel like I do feel special, like to be this close to the Creator. Like, you are blessed, girl. That's a blessing in itself that He even allowed you in like that. Because a lot of narcissists, they don't have true emotional connection with people. They don't allow you in. Even with me, I have that too. I don't allow people in. So He's allowed me in His life. I've allowed Him in mine. Even though He kind of like forced it. He set up the plays for it to happen. But I surrendered control and just easily went into it. I became submissive to it. Because I do, and that's why I really don't want to even get involved with anybody no more, because I do want God to maintain control of my life. I ask Him every day to keep leading me. I love your leadership. Your leadership is producing a better me. I love your leadership. I've always really wanted to be submissive, but submissive to the right person that I know going to lead me to safety, that I know is going to set up a good future for my children. Because I do value leaving something to my children so they don't have to go through the struggles like me. And God is leading me in the path for me what to do within my life, within my career, He's teaching me everything I need to know about everything, mind, body, soul, finances. He's teaching me that stuff so that I can do that. So that I can leave an inheritance like a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children's children. That's why I say He's not doing stuff to necessarily be hard on you. You're going to pay for things that you do. But this is why it's to correct you, so you can have the choice, so you can make better judgments, have better discernment. He's going to give you the ability. He's going to heighten your discernment so that you learn to make better judgment, make better calls over your life. Choose to do right. Teach you morals and principality. Teach you how it's important to have morals, to have integrity, to make good sound judgment, to be obedient to Him. Because a lot of y'all want to be obedient to people that's leading you on a path of destruction. You'll be obedient to those people who did nothing but betray you, backstab you, steal your car, steal your money, steal everything, steal your man, steal your boyfriend, steal your husband, steal your wife, steal all this stealing from you, steal your peace, steal your joy, steal your hand, steal everything. Y'all be surrounded by thieves and call it love and wonder why you don't get ahead, and wonder why God won't answer your prayer and send you the blessing. Why? So you can give everything that He worked hard to conjure up for you. He got blessings stored up for you that you can't get released because you too scared of getting in solitude. You too scared of letting Him manipulate you into isolation. Because He definitely manipulated me into isolation because He wavered the promise over my head. What I wanted. Everything I wanted, He wavered that over my head. And then I got to Texas. He gave me those things and then snatched them away. Like it says, well, at first try to please you and impress you, but eventually their own needs will always come first. You played with me. And I got mad about that at first. I'm like, how you get me to this land? You isolated me. Gave me stuff. Like narcissists will do. They'll isolate you, take you away from your family and friends, put you in a house, pay your bills, show you a good time. And then they'll start taking stuff from you like a dang on child. They try to renege on everything. They want to be what they call it, what they be calling it? An Indian giver. You want to take back stuff that you gave people. You want to take it back? And now I'm left with nothing. They will do that to maintain control because their own needs come first. His needs, what He needed me to do for His kingdom. What He needed me to do. Wow, this is amazing, bro. I could just cry for real. I could just cry. I'm tired of crying though. I just love God so much, bro, because His needs, what He called for you, He got better plans for you than what you were doing. A better lifestyle for you to live. He want to teach you something. He want to correct you. He want to fix you up. He want to mend that broken heart in you. And it's just it's something. That's why I don't have those voids. Like, I don't have to fill those voids with worldly things anymore. Now, I still love food, but that's another battle of the flesh that, I'm trying to fight and work with, just because, once again, his creation. I'm so grateful that he created food. But now, like I told him too, they done altered your food up so much. We don't even got real produce no more. Stuff has just been manipulated. The enemy has really came in and manipulated a lot of stuff. But let's move on, because this video is long, baby. The need for admiration. One of the most common signs of a narcissist is a constant need for praise or admiration. Isn't that what God do? This is why you go to church, to worship. This is why you worship him. You thank God. People with this behavior need to feel validation from others and often brag or exaggerate their accomplishments for recognition. In the Bible study book of Job, I was talking to y'all, I look at him. He was bragging about everything that he does. He was talking about, I do this. I create this. I do this. He have an excessive admiration. It has excessive interest and admiration of themselves. Like, it's just everything God does and allows to happen is according to his will, for his divine purpose in your life. But he created the world and everything in it for specific reasons to achieve the desired result as he envisioned it. He had a vision first. Before he gave you vision, he had vision. He had vision for you, which is why he gave you the visions. And now he wants you to work with him so that he can bring that vision into reality for you. But you got to work with him and stop working against him. Stop being afraid to speak up. Listen to your convictions. Listen to that intuition that you have. He does. He brags. He talks about who he is. I'm the Lord. He always going to remind you, like a narcissist. They always want to remind you what they did for you. What I do for you. I provided for you. I did all this for you. God do. I said the repetition I see throughout the Bible, he always reminded the Israelites, I am the Lord your God, like I say in 10 Commandments. I'm the Lord your God, which have brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. He never going to let us forget that he the one who freed us from slavery. He never going to let us forget that. Even our ancestors who was in slavery, that's why they were probably so church-goey, because this is law. He the one who freed them. So they show up. And a lot of them, it's like sometimes I kind of want to blame them, but I ultimately blame the pastors, because you were strictly placed to be the shepherd over the lost sheep, to speak only the word of God, to speak only his laws. They want to change stuff up to purposely lead people astray, So, so since they have a need they like to brag and exaggerate on their accomplishments and for recognition. And they also like to feel appreciated to boost their ego. Because God has a thing too, because people play with him so much that he be trying, sometimes he questions himself like, dang, am I not who I am? Then he got to snap into it and be like, no, like I created all of this. Like what? Just like people try to play with you, they be like, hold up, maybe I am tripping. Maybe I'm not. Maybe because they manipulating you. They be trying to manipulate you. Like, nah, I'm gonna manipulate you back. Nah, like, no, what? No, I am this. I am smart. That's why I say the number one thing for me is when people try to insult my intelligence. I'll be like, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about though. Maybe I don't know. But I'm like, no, girl, you're living this. You do know, like you're living this. They can't try to tell you this. You're living it. You can't tell me that I don't know this because I don't go to church. Baby, I'm living the word. I'm living the word. You can't tell me this. What? Talk to somebody else. What? Say that. Say the drama for your mama. Say it for somebody else. Get away from here. What? God be having to remind me, like, daughter. Like, and that's why he always said, anytime I get any ounce of doubt, he gonna always send a confirmation for me, like, no, proceed. It really be that voice like, proceed. Like, do it. Like, but he does, because people try to play in his face and it make him be like, dang, am I really? That's why he be having to show him, like, all right, let me show you, because you playing with me. Let me show you something. And when you show people something, they call you evil. Like I told y'all in my narcissistic videos, now I'm evil because now I'm clapping back at you. It was okay when you was talking ish. You could talk, you could say whatever you want to me. You could treat me however you want. But the moment I now take back power and take my power back, now I'm wrong. Now I'm wrong. Now I'm evil. Ooh, you evil. I never knew you was this evil. Play with something safe. You should have been played with something safe. I told you a long time ago. And baby, I'm a reflection of you, Pooh. I learned from you. What? So it says lack of empathy. Lack of empathy is another sign of narcissism. This means that the narcissist is unwilling or unable to empathize with the needs, wants, or feelings of other people. This also makes it difficult for them to take responsibility of their own behavior. God is in control. He don't got to. He takes responsibility because he is everything. He don't have to explain nothing. Like I said in the book of Job, y'all gotta read the book of Job Bible study. It says, what did it say? Y'all haven't listened to that video? What did it say? Navigating the wilderness, the book of Job Bible study, because God was, when he was chastising Job, like he said, brace yourself like a man. Like, you asking me all these questions. Now I'm talking back to you. Now you ain't got nothing to say. Then he went into detail about how I do this. I created the lion. I created the animals. I created this, that, and that. I'm the one that did that. Did you do that? Do you have the power to shut up Leviathan? Do you have the power to control Leviathan? Do you have power to control the beast? Do you have power to control these things? Do you have power to create those things? What was it? Leviathan and Bethel? Whoa, like something. One of them beasts or something. He was like, if you don't got the power to do that, then shut up. You ain't got, don't tell me nothing. I'm responsible for every living thing. Everything that creepeth on the earth. I'm responsible for that. And then I gave you, as the sons of men, authority to do what I initially did first. I gave you that authority, like he just said, and like we read in the beginning, where he said he gave man rulership to have dominion. You gave him the authority, gave us authority to trample on serpents, gave us the okay to get it back on people, to smite these people. Gave us authority to take, when you defending yourself, after you defend yourself, if you in like a self-defense situation, you could flee to these cities of refugee until the verdict is in, whether you was innocent, whether you was guilty, so that the person who you hurt, so they family members won't come after you. You go to the cities of refugee. Everything stems from this law. Stop playing. Everything about the modern day law, Brian, stems from this. It stems from this. Everything about it. Everything about it. This book teaches everything. The different trees. I'm learning about stuff. So, all right, let's go on because I'm losing storage. So let's read this up. So arrogance is another sign. It says people with narcissistic behavior already see themselves as superior to others. So they become rude or abusive when they don't receive the treatment they think they deserve. God does this. What did that person say over here? How he treats? They say, doesn't matter if you believe him or not. That person is a nut, and the choice that they gave you isn't a choice. It's an ultimatum. Choose me or suffer is God's motto. And if that's the case, even if I choose him to avoid going to hell, can it really be called a choice? Like, it's what it says. They see themselves as superior, so they may become rude or abusive when they don't receive the treatment that they think they deserve. And this is what these people are saying. You know, how he become rude and abusive when you don't do what he's saying, because it's like you giving him an ultimatum. He is giving you an ultimatum. That's what I said long ago. I don't know. Y'all might, and really y'all don't. Y'all believe that y'all be having all this free will. Y'all don't. That's why y'all be falling. You go through, so you keep falling. You wonder why your relationships keep getting torn up. It's because God coming in disrupting that. If he ain't in it, he gonna come and disrupt it. Anything that he's not, and he is a jealous God. What he say? For I am a jealous God. For I am a jealous God. Don't bow down yourselves to them nor serve them. You are to serve me, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God. He's jealous. They're jealous people. That's why I say they will envy you. Even if you put your kids before them, God had made me have to not put my kids first in this season and put him first. Now I know it's God first, then them children. Actually, now it's God first, then me, because I gotta be good, but I'm not narcissistic in the sense where, because I'm really like, I love to please I have that people pleasing in me. I love to make those around me happy, feel loved, feel nurtured. But I now have better boundaries because I know that my needs too do matter now. I now know that I too do matter. I now know my worth, that I do matter too. So if I have to completely do away with my needs to please you, other than God, but if it's only, because people begin to take advantage of you when you don't have those boundaries. God too, but you can't, God don't, he even too, he crosses boundaries because you can't have no boundaries with him. You don't get to say, oh, I'm going to only talk to you on this. I'm like, what? You need to make time for me all the time. And if you don't, okay, I'm going to make sure you regret that. So when you come talking to me and praying to me, now I'm going to make you wait because you ain't talked to me in weeks, months. You ain't been praying to me. As soon as you come to me with a problem, you think I'm going to answer you. Now I'm going to make you wait. Yeah, you won't wait on the answer. What the person said, he makes you wait. He said, he makes you wait. He said, I notice if you pray for something for years and never get an answer, what's up with that? You must worship me and I'll answer your prayers if I feel like it. But you must continue on worshiping me. It's all about him. You dang on Skippy. You dang on Skippy. That's how it works. That's how it works. Period. Just be obedient to him. Y'all be want to be people pleasers to these sorry crumb bags out here. To these girls out here that be cheating on you, bringing you back. Y'all be loyal to all these people. You be loyal to all these people who constantly do you wrong. Who is the ultimate reason why you out here hurting other people, but you can't be loyal to God like that? How, Sway? Negative. But it says, so they become rude or abusive when they don't receive the treatment they think they deserve. God becomes rude and abusive. Look what he did to the kings. Look what he did to everybody in the book. They didn't take all the kings, like after Jeroboam and all of them. Every time they started worshiping them false gods, okay, you gonna pay for that. All right, you ain't listening to me. You ain't idolizing me, but you idolizing them. You supposed to idolize me like that, praise me like that. You praising gold and molten images, false gods, statues. You building them on my mountains that I created. And you serving them and not me. I'm jealous of that. Why them? They didn't create this. They didn't create you. They not the ones who freed you from slavery. Why you serving them? Now I'm going to get abusive to you. Now, this is what I told y'all. Why the Black community is cursed Bible study video. What did he say he going to do to us? You're going to get blessed if you be obedient. You're going to be cursed. And all this wicked stuff is going to happen to you if you don't. And we chose not to. We still out here serving false gods. Y'all worship these celebrities like it's no tomorrow, as if they are not humans like you. It's weird. It's very strange to me. But then you can't worship God like that. Y'all know everything about the celebrities, but you won't read about God to know everything about him. Don't study his ways. The whole Old Testament explains exactly who God is. It explains exactly who he is. Even Jesus, he always was referring you back to the Father. He always was referring you back to the Father. But it's like people it don't be clicking for people. It's like they don't understand what the hell they're reading. It's like, what? Like, even Jesus, he was always talking about the Father. That's going to be a whole nother video when we get on that. Because people try to say that Jesus is God, I can understand how he is Lord, because Lord, let's look at what Lord means real quick. Because I had a couple definitions in here about this. Lord is someone or something having power, authority, or influence, a master or ruler. Lord also means supreme ruler. No, Lord also means a man of noble rank or high office, a peer, a name for God or Christ, meaning God is something different than Christ. People will really say that Christ is God. They think the two are synonymous. The two have the same agenda. Christ's whole agenda is to get people back to the Father, to get you to understand the Father, the one that cannot be seen, the one that you will only feel his presence. And he used Jesus to be the one so you can see that God is real. That's why he showed up like this, so you can see that he is real. But people still saw Jesus being real, still seeing the love he showed and stuff. And but Jesus still ain't take no mess. I got to really read deep into Jesus because I haven't read deep into it yet because I've been so busy in Old Testament. But I've read pieces of New Testament. But even from what the parts that I have read about Jesus, like, Jesus is sarcastic too. Like, that's how I know that's my brother. God the Father, I'm the daughter, Jesus the Son. That's my bruh. Like, yeah, period. Flat out. He big bruh for real. Like, and he had influence. He had big influence. He was influencing people to come to the Father. And people still hated him. But yeah, that's what Lord is. An influence, authority, a master. But a lot of people can be assumed as Lord at this point. But they don't have the true, they have influence though. Shoot. But God is the Lord over lords. He's the Lord of hosts. Like it said in Isaiah, he's the Lord of hosts. In Enoch, how it constantly said he's the Lord of spirits. So he's the Lord of all the spirits, for he created good spirits and evil spirits. They all had a position. They all had a place. They all had a rank. They all had a place that they held. And they all had a role. But sometimes people don't want to play their role. They want to take your role. They want to play your role. You can't play my role. You can never be me. You can't have my role, baby. You can't have my spot. I am the spot. You create your own spot. You play your own position and do you how you do you, why I do me, how I do me. Period. Flat out. But anyway, so it says, when they don't receive, so it says, while they hold themselves superior, they may speak or act rudely towards those that they deem are inferior. And he will. God will get very arrogant in the text. Look what he did to Job. Like, that was so funny. And then Job was like, all right, I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to be quiet for now. They said in the movie, he said, all right, I'll be quiet. But I'll be talking again. When he say something like that, I think it was in Friday. But I'll be talking again. But he do. He get to talking. He get to popping his ish in here. In Isaiah, and I'm gonna probably put some up on the screen because this video already super long, so I'm not gonna be able to read all. And then my storage acting crazy. And so I'm not gonna get into everything, like with the scriptures, but I'll put stuff up here. But he always just reinforcing who he is, like, you should not take my name in vain. He said, in Isaiah 45:5-7, that's my favorite. I am the Lord and there is none else. There is no God beside me. I girded you, though you have not known me, that they may know me from the rising of the sun and from the west, that there is none beside me. I'm the Lord and there is none else. Popping his ish. I am the Lord. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. I, at the Lord, like, do you hear that? The arrogance. He was really arrogant when he was talking about in Job. Because he do be having to pop his ish to be like, hold up, pump your brakes, pump your brakes. You a little dog to me. I'm big dog. Big God, not the little one. Play with something safe. You is a little pup. Little pup, ruff, ruff. He's big dog with a big bite. Woo, woo. Like, big dog. Don't play with him. Don't play with him. Play with something safe. You know? So let's finish this up before I lose. So is this? So it says, other signs include a sense of self-importance, exaggerating their achievements and talents, a preoccupation with fantasies of success, power, or brilliance, a belief that they're more special or unique than others and should only associate with other high-status people, envy of, what we just say, that they're more special or unique than others and they should only associate with high-status people. What did we just read what he said in Isaiah? I'm the Lord and there's none else. There is no God beside me. Like, you can't sit with me. You can't sit with me. Get thee behind me. What he tells Satan, get thee behind me, bro. You're under me. And then yet you be thinking that you have power over me when I molded you. I taught you everything you knew, little pup. What? I gave you the game. Everything you know from me. And you try to take my stuff and teach it to everybody else. You plagiarize. And that's what plagiarism and counterfeit comes from. What Satan, with that seraphim, did to God. What he did to God. And that's why he be saying, get thee behind me, bruh. Get behind me. You already was behind me and beneath me. You already was under me. Stay in your lane, bruh. Stay in your lane. What? Don't play. So it says, the envy of others or the belief that others are envious of them. And he already know. It ain't no belief. It's a fact. It's a fact that they are envious of him. Satan was envious of him. Like these other people that are envious of you, these narcs, they become envious of you, jealous of you. They see how you do things. They want to be like that too. I can go into a whole story about that. With these women, bruh, they be in competition with you, baby. Stop competing when you don't compare, period. And this is just for anybody. Stop competing when you don't compare. You busy competing against me while I'm busy competing against the old version of me. I'm trying to be better than her. Even now, like when I be looking back at my old body and stuff, not the old body, a pre-baby. And even a couple months ago, because I didn't gain weight again, I be like, I'm trying to get back to her. And I'm trying to even get better than her. Like, I'm my competition. I'm not looking at these girls out here and looking at me. It's me versus me. What Moneybag said a long time ago. It's me versus me, baby. For real. I'm in my own lane. Even with this stuff here, I don't see competition out here in these YouTube streets, in the spiritual world about what I'm doing, because I still know that, like, I'm in my own lane. Can't nobody do it like me. Can't nobody cover like me. And this is what you got to understand. Can't nobody do it how you do it. That's why you got these narcs out here. They be looking for you and every other girl, baby. You could keep finding trying to find all these girls with these nose rings, trying to find all of a sudden, like, you keep trying to find me. Like, you're not going to find me. She might have these similar traits like me, but she ain't me, baby. I'm top tier supply. And you should have held on to what you had, and you didn't. So, let it go, Pooh. Let it go. Trying to still find me. That's why they be hitting me up. Like, what? Bye. You don't get no access. But when they get real with themselves, like, at some point in time, they get real with themselves and be like, if they ever let the ego out the way, and they be like, you was right. Like, oh, you was this. You was solid, Should have appreciated what I had, but you didn't. And now that ship has sailed. Bye. So it says they insisting that they have the best of everything. God does. He insists that he has the best of everything. Feeling they deserve privileges and special treatment. And then it was one more thing I wanted to read. I only wanted to read this part, what it says about actual narcissistic personality disorder that's on this like health website or something. Some little government website. And it says, because it says NPD is highly prevalent in society. However, there has been limited research on the same. Given the limited research on the same and differences in the diagnosis of the disease, it was initially going to be discontinued from the DSM. NPD is under the umbrella of cluster B personality disorders, which include antisocial personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder, and borderline personality disorder. Cluster B typically presents with overtly emotional and unpredictable behavior. And God has very unpredictable behavior. Me, as a person that identifies with BPD, I have very unpredictable behavior. You think you know me, and I'm always hit you up with the switcheroo. Don't ever think you safe. Don't ever think you're an exception to the rule. Don't ever think that you super safe here. Don't think that you could get me and start treating me any kind of way because you think I just am so in love with you. Or think that I'm so best friends with you and that we got so much history that I will never let you go. I'm unpredictable. Don't ever think you got me figured out. And I'm always 10 steps ahead, baby. Don't ever think you got me figured out because I will hit you with the switcheroo. I will hit you with the switcheroo. God is unpredictable. This is how you know he has this. He's very unpredictable. And why it's highly prevalent in society? Because you got so many people that's trying to be God. They all want that power and control like him. They all want that influence. They all want that. They all want to be the vibe and the wave. They all want that, you know, that swag. They want that vibe. They want that. They want it. People want it. They want that worship. They want that praise. That's why everybody be seeking attention and seeking fame, because they want that praise. They want the same kind of praise that God gets, that he's deserving of. They want that praise too. Counterfeits. That's what they want. Don't give me no praise. Like I always say, I'm working for God. Everything I say is simply working for God. That's why I to believe I got the schizoid that they talk about. Like, I can't wait to get my DSM-5 book so I can really study these personality disorders and stuff. But I'm indifferent to praise or criticism. It's like, I'll say thank you, of course, if you praising me and stuff. Like, but I don't really need praise because I already know. Like, I know I'm good. I know I'm marvelous. I know that. I know I'm different. I know I'm unique. I know I'm abnormal. I know that I know I'm me. Like, I'm not threatened by people because I know that other people aren't me. Period. I know I got some sauce to me. It ain't no arrogance or nothing, but it's just like, I know I got some sauce. Period. I already know that. So I'm indifferent to praise. Like, you praising me is not going to make me feel better about myself. You know, it might be a confirmation for something that maybe I was doubting a little bit, but ultimately I know. And the criticism, I'm indifferent to criticism because it's like, whatever. Like, I'm used to being criticized anyway. So if you criticize me, it's like, okay, who cares? Like, whatever. Depending on what you're saying, you know, if I feel that too about myself, like, I'll take heed to it because I do like to grow. And the only way to grow is to get corrected in things. So, you know, I take that. You know, and I do like to hear feedback about certain stuff. So that way, because I want to grow, I want to become a better person. So if you saying, like, people might even be in the comments and be like, well, do this with your sound, or, you know, look into this. And I know that God uses people to help me too, because God is my teacher. He's the only one I pray to and talk to keep leading me in this. So he will work through other people to say, here, do this, or I might be led to look up something or get on a site or something, and it lead me to something that I needed. Or he might tell me to watch a video, and then I might watch somebody's video and they be saying something in there that I needed as a confirmation to something that he revealed to me. But because sometimes I do still struggle with doubting myself, just working on that part of like self-doubt, when I do know what I know, but it's like I be needing confirmations just to make sure I'm not tripping, and make sure I'm not crazy, to make sure I'm not overstepping my, you know, boundaries and thinking that I am a know-it-all. So sometimes I like to get that correction or whatnot. But overall, you guys, this video has been super long. But this is why it's highly prevalent in society, because people want to be him. They want that. And it's overall just a pattern of grandiosity, need for admiration, and lack of empathy per the diagnostic manual. And God does, sometimes it could seem like he has a lack of empathy because he's not easily moved by your feelings. Like, He wants you to do what he says, and you will get your reward. So crying, sliding down the wall, crying, getting mad, that's not going to make him bring what you need into fruition any faster. He needs you to be obedient and do what he said to do. If he say, go here today, if he say, do this, if he say, start reading your book, like, you have to do these things. If he say, make the video, if he say, make the post, if he say, stay home today, if he say, go here today, like, it's just simple obedience. And if you do that, you won't have to be sliding down the wall, because you're going to understand, as you be obedient, you're going to be led right into the prayer. Your prayer is going to be answered. Your prayer is going to be answered through simple obedience. Sometimes, like, sitting through these long videos. I remember somebody in one of the videos said, this was the answer to my prayer. It was a long video. I don't know which part of the video answered her prayer, but what if she never watched the video? Her prayer wouldn't have been answered. But obedience, he told her to watch this video. I told my child to record this video today and post it today, and I didn't let her do that. It was that Job video. Yes, it was the Job video. I was like I'm about to be doing now with this, spending hours to edit this thing because it's so long, and then I'd be having to go find the scripture and everything to put in the video and stuff. But I spent 8 hours that day. I didn't get on the internet or not. I was just strictly working on that video because I knew it needed to get posted. He was urging me to get it done and get it posted. And that's why, because through me, he needs to give confirmation to other of his children. So stuff that he's doing to you it's not to punish you, but it's because he needs you to focus on this. God knows me, even the delays with getting a house and getting a car and all of this stuff, because God knows I really care about furnishing. If I get the house, I'm going to be so ready to furnish it. If I get all the money, I'm going to be out here doing the shopping for the house because I want my house to be pretty and all that. I really care about interior design, and that make me feel good at home, like build my palace. And I'm going to be focused on that, and I focus on this. So that's why he will hold stuff up sometimes. It's not to be evil and to be mean to you. It's to give you purpose. It's to give you purpose. Like, it's not because he just wants to be evil. Sometimes he got to show you who's boss. Yes. He wants you to know who's boss. And he can do what he wants. But ultimately, he does stuff so that he can lead you to where he needs you to be for his will that he has for you, for his prophecies to be fulfilled. So he does stuff so that his word won't return void. He don't want people playing on him, playing on his top. He wants you to know that you're going to reap what you sow. So he's doing it so that you can make the choice, so that you can have the free will to do right, even when faced with the option to do wrong. You choose to do the right thing. You choose to have integrity. You choose to be obedient. So you do have free will. Make the choice to be obedient and follow his command. Or else you're going to pay for that. So this was a pretty long video. My back tired. I hope y'all got something out of this video. I hope y'all got a little bit more insight about who God is and why he does what he does. And, he got to show you who's boss. And sometimes people be having him tripped up, and he be like, hold up, let me catch myself. I am who I am. I am that I am. When he told Moses, when you go to Pharaoh, what you say? I am that I am. I am that I am. I'm the head honcho in this thing. Don't you ever play with it. There's nobody sitting beside me. So I'll see y'all in the next video. Hope y'all got something out of this video. Let me get the editing so I can get it posted, and then take forever for it to get uploaded and downloaded and all of this and all of that. So I'll see you guys in the next video. This is